Crossover.
Oh, killer crossover.
Just crossover. It just crossed him over nastily.
Another victim to the crossovers. Cross him up and sit him down.
Hey, the crossover is powered by Everlevel Concrete Repair in Omaha at everlevelconcrete.com.
I feel like you kind of let him have that one, Gary.
Yeah, he gave me the look.
It's okay.
You know what? Sometimes you gotta spread
Whoa.
the wealth. How's it look?
Whoa! It's all
sharp?
it's fat.
Whoa!
It's all horizontal. That's cool.
Hey, there's Brian. He called during our show. I can bring him up on line 3.
There you go. He's not there
You know
anymore.
what's the funniest part?
Thank you, Chris.
Jimmy said,
Thanks, Chris.
this guy's
Thanks,
on
Chris.
line 1 and this guy's on line 2. And I texted the chat and I've got the guys confused completely. And I'm like, how did I mess that up? And then you looked at the thing. And when you said it, you were like, all right, we're going to go to Tony to line 1. I'm like, oh, Tony's on line 2. Didn't pick up. Then you go, all right, we'll go to Brian. I go, all right, this is going to be awkward when Brian says my name's Tony. Brian goes, thanks, Gary. Yeah, what I was thinking.
Nice.
What an F up.
You figure it out, man. You just figure it out.
How you doing, by the way?
It's looking good. I am doing great. I enjoyed your interview with John Walker this morning.
It was a good one.
What a great conversation.
No, I love talking to John Walker. It was fun.
I do too.
Do you think we ask good Creighton questions?
You guys ask excellent Creighton questions. I love when you talk Creighton. You should do it more.
We should. You know what we missed out on? We should have talked that the Big East needs the St. John's UConn rivalry.
All right.
They do. I'm sorry, but it's disrespectful to Creighton.
You know who's overrated?
If Creighton
Zuby
was-
Ejiofor.
If Creighton was running the league, if Creighton was at the top of the league, the Big East wouldn't get much run, unfortunately.
Well, that's
because that's a conference that barely pays attention to anything outside of the East Coast, except when Creighton does something big. But other than that, they ignore everybody else.
But
So
guess
that
what?
league
I wouldn't
needs
care.
UConn, St. John's.
if
you wouldn't care.
I wouldn't care.
But I'm looking at.
I'm a
the bigger
Midwestern
picture.
Big East fan.
As you should be, because that makes sense.
Got to get the Tommies in
Go
there.
Marquette. Go Xavier. Go Butler.
You need to start a club, Midwesterners for the Big East.
I mean, that totally
Should they
exists.
go to divisions in the Big East?
Well, they did that in soccer when they added
Yeah.
Akron.
Yes.
Akron is in the Midwest division.
I can't wait to see Akron and Creighton soccer.
Yeah, there's a
Whoa,
Midwest division
that's a
and an
big
East
game.
division.
That's Akron is good.
Yeah.
I'm there.
Yeah.
Do you think there's a market there for you to start a podcast, like a Midwesterner Big East podcast,
Well,
where
why-
you just talk about
okay.
the Midwest teams in the Big East?
I think that would be very interesting. So they got 11 teams, so it'd be awkward. But the Midwest versus the East.
The East would win.
You'd
The
have
East
to
would
add-
kick the Midwest's butt.
So
No,
you'd
well,
have to,
hold on
You'd have
now.
to add one. You'd have to add one, and
So
probably
let's
a
say-
Midwestern. So it would be
St.
St.
Thomas.
Louis or Dayton.
St. Thomas.
Creighton. Okay, let's just say it's St. Thomas. Let's fast forward 7 years, 6 or
Okay.
7 years,
Okay,
something like
okay.
that.
6, 7.
So it's Creighton, St. Thomas, Xavier, Butler, Marquette, and
DePaul.
DePaul. I'm sorry, I forgot about DePaul.
Come on.
And then the other
Yeah,
East Coast.
Okay.
Versus UConn, Seton Hall,
UConn,
Georgetown.
Seton Hall, Georgetown,
John's.
Providence, St. John's. Did we not
You
mention them?
didn't know.
And then there's one more.
Villanova.
Yeah.
Villanova.
Okay.
Yeah, the East would kick the crap out of the
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
historically.
Whoa. Do you remember when Butler went to 2 straight national championship games?
Okay.
Do you remember
You-
when Creighton's
I-
in like the Sweet
Do you
16
know how
every
old
year?
I was when
You know when
Gordon-
Marquette?
Do you know how
Yeah,
old
Marquette
I
was in the
when
Final
Go-
Four.
Do you know how old I was when Gordon Hayward was playing basketball at Butler? I was like 9.
That's your problem. I was like 17.
Hey, the Gordon Hayward. Hey, the Gordon Hayward.
That's the point. You're old now. You're an old man.
I'm not old.
And you're 17 when he
Oh,
was
I'm
there.
not
Think
old.
about how that would have changed Butler and college basketball if he would have hit that shot.
Oh, it would have been
God.
awesome. Would have been so
Brad
awesome.
Stevens has had 2 different jobs since that game. He was the Celtics
More
coach.
than that, right?
No, it's Celtics coach and Celtics general manager. And then Brad Stevens will do a Theo Epstein and go into like the NBA league office at some point
Probably.
and like be the next commissioner of the NBA.
I love this Big East talk. I love it.
Okay, let's stop then.
Georgetown's supposed to
okay.
be.
Well, I do have something. If you guys want to go back to
Okay,
the
we can
Big
go back.
Red,
I need help.
Yeah.
Maybe we're talking about the same thing here.
but we do. By the
Okay.
way, got a tweet from Sam. Matt was like 12 when Creighton made the Elite Eight in 2023.
That's bull. That's bull crap.
Thank you, Sam. Great
That's
tweet.
bull crap.
Need some help, Gary.
Nebraska
Yes.
has announced a concert at Memorial Stadium.
Is it who I think it is?
No. Nope. I can
It's
pretty
not-
much
it's-
guarantee you it's
It's
not.
not Morgan Wallen.
It's not.
Is it
Who is it?
Benson Boone?
No.
Nope.
Is
Nope.
it country?
Oh,
It
God.
is.
Yes.
It's country like folky kind of.
Oh,
It
no.
is.
Oh, this is
God.
okay. So this is
Tony
not a
Johnson?
singular act. This is a
Okay, so it is a very, very popular college.
Yes.
Yes.
People like them.
Is
It
this
is
Rolling
the
Thunder?
No,
it is the
it's-
Turnpike Troubadours
Hell
Yes,
yeah.
yeah.
Nice.
So
with
it's-
special guests Cody Jinks,
Yeah.
Flatland Cavalry, and more.
Hell yeah.
So cross Canadian ragweed. So they're like in Matt's wheelhouse
They
of
are.
the 20-year-olds that love these guys, and they're not
Yeah.
they're older than 20s, but
August
they're very
22.
popular. So this is
okay.
TPT is legit. They
Okay,
So
are-
this,
so I-
this is for the young people.
yes.
So this is an interesting combo, and I think Gary, I'm sorry for interrupting. I think you're going to hit on this though. There's like a conglomerate of people my age who don't like pop country.
It's
Like
a Saturday, by the
they
way.
don't like the Morgan Wallen country. They
Yeah.
don't like the Kane Brown country. They like the folk country, the true country. And Turnpike does a great job of hitting that market.
Yeah, they're
Okay.
good. They're
Okay.
good. I've seen them in a smaller venue. They're really good. They're not going to
I've
sell out.
heard of all of those, and then they
Yeah.
tweeted out the
Yeah.
boys from Oklahoma, and I'm like, what is that? Is
They're
that
not
a
going to
thing?
fill Memorial Stadium, but I think it's a good college because I think what they want to do is this is the kickoff to the year of
Yeah.
the school year.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like in Stillwater at Oklahoma State, they do the Orange Peel, and they'll get a band that'll play at like a well-known that will play at Boone T. Pickens to kick off.
This is the vibe I get
Yeah.
from the video
Yeah.
that they tweeted out. Is that it's like a welcome back? Hey,
Yes,
let's
yes.
have
And that's
some
what they
fun.
would like to do. Like now, make it a yearly thing.
It'll be a great college event.
Yeah.
Saturday, August 22.
That's
That would
perfect.
be
like you said.
that would likely be the 1 week before Nebraska plays their opener.
Yeah. So it's
there. Yeah.
it's a Saturday before school starts.
Yeah.
And I think they want to make this a tradition.
Unless they open. Oh no, they open on the 5th next year. So it's
Okay.
2 weeks before the opener.
Yeah, that's a great pick for like the students could go and the students could like enjoy that. Have like I mean I don't know. Do you think they'll be
Does
like,
Nebraska
student
has
tickets will be
80,000
cheaper or
students?
something like that or whatever? but-
I think they will do something for the students.
yeah, I think that'd be great. I
But-
think that's all. I wish they did that when I was there.
So I know, and I don't think this is the concert they were pursuing. I do know that they have been going after a big name. Like Luke Combs was in play. But Morgan Wallen is apparently going to announce some tour dates, and it's going to be college football stadiums.
Cool.
Yeah,
But the Athletic doesn't think highly of Memorial Stadium, so maybe it won't be Lincoln.
The Athletic does it?
Did you see the list?
No. What's the list?
I didn't see.
So
it.
they put out the top 25 college football stadiums.
Oh, this is
Memorial
embarrassing.
Stadium in Lincoln is 14th.
Well, that's
Guess
pretty
what
good.
it is
That's-
behind?
That's good.
Iowa, probably.
Kinnick.
Kinnick is right behind them.
Ooh.
The Rose Bowl. The Rose Bowl.
The Rose Bowl
Iconic
rocks.
venue.
Only, but it's not a college football stadium. It's a bowl.
Who
like
has
when
the best
UCLA
college
plays
football
there,
stadium?
it's nothing.
But they're voting on like the nostalgia and the event and the scenery and the venue and the history.
Yeah.
There's more.
Have you ever even seen the
Yeah.
sunset behind the San Gabriel Mountains?
I've been to the Rose Bowl before.
Of
Yeah,
course.
like it's
So you would know.
look Wrigley
But
Field.
no, when you go, okay,
Rick-
so hold on here.
Wait, wait,
So when people go out there in a couple of weeks and it's all red, like I'm watching the Maryland UCLA game. It was a friends and family crowd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That doesn't,
But-
I don't go,
but-
oh my God, this is incredible. But when they're playing on J1 and the grass is super green
Ah,
and the sun is going to set and the stadium looks so much different and there's a
Love
huge
it.
rose in the middle of the field.
They do
The
it
Rose
right.
Bowl is really cool.
yeah,
hey,
but people forget
hey.
the sun will set behind the San Gabriel Mountains at halftime this
Yeah.
year.
Yes.
Yeah.
So-
Not in
so
between the third and
First
fourth
off,
quarter.
it ain't the Rose Bowl's fault. UCLA's dog water. All right, they're not funding the
Was.
NIL. They're not
Whoa,
getting
whoa.
the
UCLA
players.
is back.
Yeah. I
Okay.
don't know if you heard.
Have you
But
ever heard of Tiny Baby Neuheisel?
They
But
do,
I'm
they do,
aware,
hey,
which, by the
they
way, you-
do control their own path to the playoff,
They're
which
not
is
going
wild.
Funny enough, Tiny Baby Neuheisel, you would think is the head coach, and then you have to be reminded he's actually the coordinator.
That's right.
which
But
is
he
kinda
might be the
crazy.
head coach the way this is going.
I don't. I think he'll end up having a very, very, very nice P5 coordinator job.
You
when
don't
this is all
think
said
that
and
guy has enough juice to be the UCLA head coach right
He-
now?
You
Because I think he does.
look. I'm a tiny baby boy with a big boy
He's not
job.
even the
okay?
interim coach.
I don't know.
Put
if-
some respect on
I don't
Tim
even.
Skipper.
Yeah, I was about to say. I don't know if you want to give that big boy job to that tiny baby boy yet.
He loves UCLA.
He
That's like
does.
prerequisite
But
number
maybe he-
one.
Okay,
Not a-
maybe he's
not a lot
maybe,
of those out
maybe-
there.
Maybe it'd be very smart of the next head coach of UCLA, if it is Tim Skipper, to keep Tiny Baby Neuheisel as his offensive coordinator. But to go from a coordinator,
It ain't
to
gonna be
coach-
Tim Skipper. I'll tell you that.
No, I know.
Nobody knows who he is.
But when I'm telling, you're crazy. You're wild. No, it
I
ain't
think they
gonna
should
be-
hire him.
No,
I-
God, no.
I think
There's
they
a
should hire
difference between being a great play caller, an offensive coordinator, and being a legitimate head coach of a program in a very tumultuous time in college football. Come on, this is crazy pills. by you.
Colorado State.
Give it to him. Give it to him and let him roll.
Yeah, maybe
All right.
Colorado State.
Maybe there's some ups
So,
and
you're
downs, but he loves
You're-
UCLA.
Yeah, and you know what?
We
Maybe
got our
when he's
coach for the
had
next
some
40
more head
years.
coaching-
Exactly.
Bruins
Yeah, you don't
fans.
have to fire anybody.
Maybe when he's had more coaching experience, and maybe in particular the head coaching experience, and has built enough connections to build a really good coaching staff down the
Dude,
line.
they hired
UCLA
Deshaun Foster.
They
Did he
didn't
have
hire-
any head coaching
they didn't-
experience?
They didn't hire
No.
Deshaun Foster. They were kind of forced into the whole Deshaun Foster deal.
Okay, that's a cop out.
Kelly-
They hired
Kelly
him.
left.
They
Kelly
hired.
left.
They hired
And
Deshaun Foster, who had
Kelly-
no head coaching experience.
Kelly-
They should hire Tiny Baby
Kelly left at
Neuheisel.
a terrible time. They couldn't do a head coaching search. They needed to have a head coach. They decided to hire him. Yes, he played well. They did well enough toward the end of the year for them to be like, okay, we'll give you another year to do it. And then they
See,
got rid of his
You're
ass
like
really
one of the
quickly.
people that Matt Rule is talking about. You care about the optics too much.
I'm not caring
You-
about the
you-
optics.
you care about
wanna
the optics too
You
much.
want to hire a young coordinator who wasn't even the coordinator to begin the season to be the head coach of a Big Ten team that needs to start winning immediately.
If he's
I
good,
think, I
he's
think
good.
I am way more level here than you are in terms of who you
Neuheisel
want
would
to
probably be
hire.
the cheapest hire, which is something they need.
They
at
definitely care
There's
about that.
cheaper hires.
I mean,
Go
it is a
and get the
school
guy-
that hired Carl Durrell and Sean
There
Foster.
are plenty of other cheap hires you can make that are currently coaching around the country that have actual head coaching experience. I'm not saying
Right.
I'm not crapping on.
Are
them.
they
I'm just saying it'd
undefeated,
be
though?
very
So here
immature of
is this
UCLA to
list.
do that.
Nebraska has played at a lot of these, and I think us in the room have
Oh, yeah.
been to quite a few.
I got it right now.
So
yeah.
Tiger Stadium, LSU 1, Beaver Stadium 2,
Uh-huh. See you in a
Notre
few
Dame
weeks.
Stadium 3,
Mhm.
Ohio Stadium 4, Michigan Stadium, very overrated, is 5th.
I've heard this by many.
Yeah,
It's more of like it's more of
It's
kind
the
of the
size.
aura
Yeah.
of the whole.
Yeah,
thing.
If
it's the
you
same
happen to be
argument.
sitting in the 4th row,
Let me tell you this:
it's going to be a long walk down to your seat. I was
if-
let down. By the way, no, honesty, I was let down by the big house.
Many people say that.
Overrated.
I will say this though. Here's a take: if that stadium didn't have the nickname "the Big House," nobody would care about it.
great take, Happer.
It's just
Totally.
it's too good of a nickname.
Now you walk in, and only 10 rows are above ground or so, and you got to walk all the way down
That's
to the
what-
field. It's
here's-
like Carver Hawkeye Arena.
I figured it out. This is what we need. We need a nickname for Memorial Stadium.
the old
It's Death Valley. It's
Happy Valley,
Happy Valley. It's
Death Valley
it's
again.
Notre Dame's, touchdown Jesus,
but-
whatever.
well,
It's the
no.
horseshoe. It's
You-
the big house.
You don't like the old grandma on 10th and Vine?
That doesn't quite
No,
hit.
no.
Doesn't quite hit.
It's called the Big Ugly.
The old gray lady.
Okay, so Neyland Stadium
But
is
that's,
6th.
That's not threatening, you know.
No, it's
Hey,
not. Old gray ladies.
Yeah.
Neyland Stadium wouldn't it have been cool for Nebraska fans to go to Knoxville?
Yes.
Oh wow.
It would have. Greg
Especially-
and Myrtle Beach on line one.
Especially knowing now that the project at the stadium will start after next season. I mean, you get Tennessee in here, and then the next year, Husky Stadium,
Yeah. Doesn't have a nickname, but a great setting for college football.
Kyle Field.
Just
It is
Home of the
mammoth.
it's just big.
The Rose Bowl
That's
is
what they
9th.
say about Ryan Kalkbrenner. It's just
Autzen
big.
Stadium is 10th.
Yeah. The
Um,
the
Autzen
zoo.
Zoo.
By the way,
Bryant Denny is 11th. Tuscaloosa.
I think 14th for Memorial is pretty good.
Yeah, I actually do. Too.
Okay, so the Between the Hedges is 12th. The Swamp is 13th.
The Swamp. Great.
There is
nickname.
nothing special about the Swamp.
Exactly, but it's called the Swamp.
Yeah, okay. All right.
It's called-
So,
He didn't
You're
nickname
onto
it.
something here because then we go back to back Memorial Stadiums, but one does have a name. Nebraska's 14, Clemson is 15,
Between the hedges.
Death Valley.
Camp Randall is 16th,
Yep. Great. I mean, just a good name for a
Now-
stadium.
Michie Stadium at Army. You go up the Hudson.
Respect the troops.
Yes.
We love them.
Lavelle Edwards Stadium in Provo.
Mhm.
Then you have Jordan Hare.
Jordan Hare.
Okay.
Oh, here's one.
Folsom Field is 20th.
A great setting and definitely unique when it's important.
Bring the rocks back.
Unique when it's important.
Utah Stadium is 21st.
Unique.
The Coliseum is 22nd.
Yeah, that place is a piece of garbage.
They put some money into it.
Yeah.
Looks better.
Yeah. They still have tarps that cover half the stands. So
No, that's retired. They retired their numbers, Connor. Get it right.
it's tarps. It's like
no,
what's
it's
that?
jersey retirements.
The
Connor.
mount.
What if it was both?
Mount at the old Oakland Stadium? You know where they put the tarps over them?
Yeah.
Mount Davis.
Mount Davis. It's that.
Doak Campbell tied for 23rd. Appalachian State tied for 23rd.
Great setting.
And then Lane Stadium at Virginia Tech is 25th.
Mhm.
Okay. Between the hedges.
Better
How about
assignment.
this for Memorial Stadium? Between the De Leons.
It is. It is
the-
sandwiched by De Leon.
It is directly in between two De Leons that are on two different sides of town.
27th in like what is that?
And then there's
R
one,
or
and
something
then,
like
and then the 27th and R. Then there's one in by Superior.
They could get Tim Brando to drop that the next time he's in town.
There's one
And
on Westo. There's one on Westo
there's
too.
one
It's
on
really
Westo.
it's really cornered
Yeah.
by De Leon.
And we are here in between the De Leons at Memorial Stadium as the Nebraska
I'm sure-
Cornhuskers take on the
I'm
Rutgers
sure Mark
Scarlet
Whitehead
Knights.
would be like, "Why don't we call it between the U stops?"
It's got to be something. He would. Lincoln's Gas King would say that. Maybe you do like a corn something. A corn.
The corn.
I mean, they call it the Sea of Red, I suppose.
Yeah.
But like it's
Just call it the dump. We're here at the dump.
the dump.
I'm making a joke.
It's not a dump. Although I did watch.
Uh,
we watch a old YouTube game in the crossover in the afternoons, and it was one before the East Stadium expansion was built.
Oh yeah.
I kind of like it. I liked it that way.
You like it?
Well, that little
way.
the
Tell me why.
balcony that it was the overhang was only like about 6-7 rows.
Yeah.
Great
6,
seat.
7.
6-7.
6-7 rows, something like that. You could see lovely Old Father Hall.
Yeah, you
You
could.
know,
But I like I watched a game up there in the East Stadium expansion.
in the new one.
Yeah, in the new one, it's nice.
I
It's
mean,
nice.
yeah, everyone
I,
always says that.
I very much enjoyed my viewing. Like getting.
You
on
couldn't
the,
pay me to go up there.
I mean, I paid about 100
Okay.
170 for
So
the
these-
Colorado game up there. And it was
These
worth it.
lists of you look at the teams that are like ahead of Nebraska. If Nebraska was better at home, Memorial Stadium would be higher.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
would you have if you did this list in the 90s, where would Nebraska have been?
Because they would have just introduced the tunnel walk. They would have been in the top 5.
Maybe.
Well, that's the point, right? Like the home field advantage actually has to prove to be an advantage. Like, let's just be real. Nebraska hasn't really proven that there's any advantage to them
But
playing at home.
the thing
They
about-
lose at home
So-
or on the road. It
So
doesn't matter.
also, I think we've seen a transition. The most popular game at Memorial Stadium is now the night game compared to just a nice 2:30 mid-afternoon. Stadium's packed. You can see everybody in red.
Yeah, you could blame TV networks for that one.
Louis Vicar was disappointed that the Nebraska Northwestern game is not at night because he was
Oh.
hoping for the light show.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well, he
that
saw
would've
it
been
a
dope.
few years ago when they got beat 56-7.
well,
or
where do you
whatever.
think Northwestern Stadium is going to rank on that list when it opens up?
Not on it.
No.
But what is it based? So is it just based on home field advantage, or is it based on
Well,
the actual
atmosphere.
stadium?
Atmosphere.
New stadiums aren't allowed.
Okay, that's fine.
New-
Yeah, like Baylor's is not on there. Minnesota.
No, I mean, clear. Like, what is the title of that list? Though?
well, it has to be an
Best.
atmosphere.
The
Like-
best. Okay.
Like it has to be.
No,
it
that's
is a
why-
great
yeah,
atmosphere.
that's why the
place
big
is packed.
That's why the big house gets up there.
I
Like don't-
think the quality of all of these that brings them all together is their uniqueness. Nebraska, you talk to anybody who comes here and they say it is a unique
without a
experience to go play college football at Nebraska.
I love that Notre Dame Stadium is named Notre Dame Stadium. Someone's got to be the Washington football team. Somebody's got to be boring. You know, somebody's just got to be no. We're not going to sell out, and we're not going to be.
I mean, all these are boring.
We're not going to be
they just have
G-Hub
nicknames.
Field or NRG State. We're not going to be any of this stuff. We're just we are Notre Dame, and here's where we play.
Mhm.
And right down the road, right down the parking lot, we play at the Compton Family Ice Arena.
Hey, you're right. There are no corporate sponsors on
Zero.
any of these.
Zero.
You lose a lot of that aura when you all of a sudden bring in a
you
corporate
lose
sponsor.
A ton of aura when you
Aura
put a
points,
corporate-
negative aura
Negative.
points.
When you're Happy Valley, you don't want to be Happy Valley brought to you by FedEx. You know,
No, you don't.
God, we're here at Death Valley. We're here at Menard Stadium.
Nope. That's that ain't right. You can't do it. So you'll never see LSU do it.
No.
Well, I guess never say never. But
I think they would.
it's
I
unlikely.
don't know. It depends on how tight money actually gets in the next couple of years based on NIL and all that stuff. Because
Chris said about our discussion about Memorial Stadium, which, by the way, the project begins after next year. So Prepare accordingly.
Jeez.
South Stadium.
Have you been to South Stadium? It's not a dump.
It is a dump.
Oh, it's a
It's the
definite dump.
worst. It's the worst viewing experience of any college football stadium in America.
But it's a nice.
No, it's not.
There's nothing-
no,
no.
I didn't mean nice. I meant it's our dump. It is.
Yes, it is.
It's charming.
Well, I am
For how
a little,
bad it
I
is.
am a little worried that they were like, actually, there are some foundational things that we need to fix in East and West. I mean, that's not necessarily like
You lose your charm when you update your stadium. Make it old and crappy.
No, when you say there are foundational issues, I don't want to
Let
be,
it fall.
I don't want to be cheering for Emmett Johnson running
The
down
one
the
thing-
sideline and then my life ends
I
because
don't-
the stadium caved
I
in.
would. This would take somebody looking into this, and maybe myself. I can't imagine there are many college football stadiums in America that have a majority of their seats are in the end zone like Lincoln.
Oh, I doubt it. I doubt it.
Because North and South
Penn
Stadium
State-
are monstrous.
Penn State is pretty because they built that expansion on one of the end zones, but you look and it's like it's
And
expansive.
you literally have college football stadiums that just put like a building behind one of the end zones with no seats, which is zero. It's just the training facility, or it's like the or their educational facility.
Not anymore.
They're just right
Everybody's
there.
building new.
So-
Well, Arkansas
stuff.
doesn't
So
Arkansas
what is
still
it-
have that? They don't have a back.
No, they have a nice up on
Did
the
they-
north
did they?
side now. Yeah.
I think when
didn't know that.
when the original discussion about tearing down South Stadium is that what 25,000 people would be displaced.
I believe that's right.
So if
yeah.
you take North Stadium, I mean that's 50,000 seats of the
Yeah.
86 that are in there.
Really in North? You think it's 50,000? I
mean,
wouldn't know.
North
So-
plus
so-
south.
Oh,
Yeah,
North plus South.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, probably.
People want to
probably.
pay to sit between, like the goal lines, but
Yeah.
in Lincoln, most of your seats are in the end zone.
I mean, the next thing up after all this is done is new press box.
Wow.
That would be the next deal. I
Just build a new
suppose.
stadium.
So just you put more seats on that.
I'm sorry.
Put more seats on that west side. Add it up, and
Yeah.
then make one of the levels the press level.
People will get mad at me because I'm not from here. But like just at this point, if you're going to spend $1 billion on a new stadium, you're going to go through all the headache of knocking things down and doing and displacing people and all this stuff. You know what? But just build a brand new one and make it real nice and shiny and absolutely beautiful, and it'll be great. It'll be an incredible viewing experience, and you can do things to honor the old stadium.
I
Sorry.
disagree.
Okay,
I
that's
think that the charm lives inside the crappiness, inside of the old crap. That's where the charm is from.
Yes, sure, and I cannot disagree with that and the tradition and all of, and I think you can make all the points that you want, but just from a logistical standpoint and like convenience standpoint and comfortability standpoint.
Oh yeah,
and
nobody's
like,
arguing there.
and like technological and just trying to adapt to the new times of college football. You can having a blank canvas with all of that money to
But
really
you
just
don't-
build what you want to build would be pretty nice and less of a headache.
Adapting to the new times of college, there are very few teams out there that are building new stadiums,
No, but
In college.
but in
Yeah.
college,
especially the big wigs, especially blue blood
but-
programs. Like
but-
nobody's doing
But
it.
what are we talking about from this perspective? Of we want to find new forms of revenue for Memorial Stadium. We want to find new ways to make money. We want to have these new different amenities that is going to help us fund the athletic department in this new era. It would be more efficient to just kind of sit down and have a blank blueprint and say,
Of course,
this
it
is
would.
where we're going to put
Yeah.
this, and this is where we're going to put this, and these, and we're going to make this area for these events and this events, and this is how we're going to make more money, opposed to looking at this old 100-year-old stadium and saying, all right, what do we have to knock down and break apart in order to
Of
do
course,
that?
you're
Yeah, the
100%
problem with
right
a lot
about
of these
that.
colleges is you're landlocked. Like you're not, like in a professional team can go, hey, like the Royals, who it sounds like now that they're going to choose Overland Park, we can move to a different park. Like
Yeah.
in college, you're landlocked. Like, there's no like land right next to your stadium that
Sure.
you could just
No,
tear
I
down
know.
academic buildings.
I know, and
Um,
I think that maybe I'm probably overblowing. Like I don't think it's as easy as I'm saying. I mean, it's definitely not as.
No, but
easy as I'm
if
making
you
it out.
execute the project, if you say we're going to build a new stadium, of course, all that you're saying is true. It makes everything a lot easier in terms of the money.
oh sure,
But that's not a good idea, in my opinion. I just think you have to deal with what you have. And
and-
because I don't like part of the soul and the soul of college football lives inside these old ass places.
Yes.
Like
and I
I'm
can't
not
deny
trying to
that.
take
I
away from the
cannot-
soul.
Did you ever go to
cannot
Baylor in
deny
their old
that.
stadium?
No,
But
I
It
didn't.
was so. It
Baylor's a
wasn't.
different deal though. Like Baylor, you could do it.
It wasn't near
I
campus.
don't disagree.
It was like in a neighborhood that was in the middle of, just so you're like driving down the road, and there is Floyd Casey. Like literally, it was nowhere near campus.
Sure.
It was away from downtown, and it was like okay. And then I don't know Waco well enough to know where their current stadium is.
It's right on the Brazos, right?
I know, but I don't know if that's like, is that
I don't know.
we're next to, because I'm familiar with their baseball and basketball arena, but is it like close? Like Minnesota was playing in the Metrodome,
Yeah.
and they had space to build their stadium,
Yeah.
where they could move out of the Metrodome. And they, you know, like before they moved to the Metrodome, they were playing across the street in a stadium that now has their big natatorium in the middle of it and some academic buildings.
Think about it this way though. Who do you want to be like? You want to be like Baylor and Minnesota and Northwestern, or you want to be like LSU, Penn State, Notre Dame,
But-
Ohio State, and
yeah.
Michigan?
No.
I want to be like them. They win.
I'm just looking at this from a logistical standpoint and a comfortability standpoint. All of the reasons, like, okay, I just want to say this, like,
I don't expect comfort
they-
when I go to a
if-
college football
but
game.
but you still can have it. That doesn't mean you can't have it, and that doesn't mean that you wouldn't enjoy it. Like that's one of those things.
Well, okay,
where
hold on here. But if you had the means
to do it, you
to
should
be
do
a
it.
ticket holder in Lincoln, and you had the opportunity to buy like club seats, would you?
At the new
At the current Memorial Stadium. Because those club seats, on both sides, are really nice.
I think
Okay.
I think that is the preferred.
Yeah.
That is the preferred method.
So this is what I want to say though. Like if
But I do like
they
being
go,
close.
If they
you know?
go ahead and
I like being in it.
they just renovate, like I have no dog in the fight. Like I really don't. Like if they go ahead and they renovate Memorial Stadium, that's great, right? It'll be a headache, but that's great. They go ahead and they build a new stadium, that's great. I just think it'd be easier if they were to do that. I do think that there would be a lot of people who would be upset like you, and who would be very valid to be upset because, to your point, adapting to college football, right, and adapting to the new times, we are losing so many old traditions that we have to hold on to them as much as we can, and holding on to your stadium would do that. At the same time, when those same people would walk through the doors of a new stadium, they would be like, yeah, I love the old gray lady on 10th and
Of
Vine,
course, they would
but
say it
this
was
is
great.
awesome.
They would say
This
it was
is
great.
awesome. This is incredible.
But
So I
at
think
what cost?
No.
At what?
I know.
And I'm not talking about money. I'm talking
I-
about my heart.
I know. I agree with you. And I would be sad about it too. At the same time, it'd be like, man, air conditioning is awesome. Like this is
Of course,
cool.
I would
And
love it.
having a seat,
Air conditioning is
So-
awesome.
and having a
I like
seat
the
back,
Civic Auditorium.
and like
Yeah, it smelled like funnel
my
cakes.
back feels great sitting in this seat, you know, and I'm not squished in between a bunch of people. And I don't have to go down different stairs and walk on the track and go and jump through hoops to go and get a hot dog and a beer. I can just get on my seat and walk 100 feet.
I was downtown recently, and because I did something at your former high school. There is no like recognition of that's where Civic Auditorium
No,
was.
it's very
Are they
sad.
going to do something?
I don't know. They're supposed to be
Literally
building
anything.
They're supposed to be building a shopping thing.
Yeah.
There or something.
But is there going to be something on the sidewalk that this is where the Civic Auditorium was?
I would hope so.
Because it's so
displayed
awkward
here.
now for multiple years that is just an open green space.
Home of that vice presidential debate that
Yeah.
one time.
Okay, in
It's
your
great.
lifetime, Connor, and I think you'll live for a long time.
Thank you.
What's more likely to happen in Lincoln? Nebraska baseball builds a new stadium, or Memorial Stadium becomes new?
Like they move out
Or
of
neither.
Memorial Stadium and they
Yeah, they have
Yeah.
a brand new stadium.
new baseball.
Okay.
Definitely.
I think new baseball probably is going to happen.
That'd be great.
I mean,
Do it today.
I like Haymarket Park, but I like.
I don't-
as you,
I don't
as
think you
can
need
tell,
to.
I like new things. I
I-
like new stadiums.
I think Haymarket Park has barely been updated since 2000.
And that's
Own
unfortunate.
your
Yeah.
own thing.
yeah. Yeah.
You're,
Hot take.
you're the University of
Yeah.
Nebraska.
All right, nice job, Dave Ramsey.
Well,
Can you imagine Dave Ramsey with the athletic department? What's your combined household income?
Oh,
You're
dude.
renting?
You're
Dave
renting?
Ramsey.
You're in this economy.
Dave
You're
Ramsey
renting?
would hate
Well,
Troy Dannon.
What have you thought about paying for Haymarket Park in cash? I mean, why not save up and pay for it in cash?
Yeah.
That's always
Buy
the Dave-
real estate,
that
you
is- by the
idiot.
way, Dave Ramsey, I like him. But at the same time, What just an absolute cop out that all your advice is ever, well, why don't you save up and pay it in cash? Is that all you got for me, Dave? Because you said that to the 18 other callers that were on here as well.
It's great advice. It's great advice. Just pay off your credit cards.
Just save up.
You
and pay
should be
cash.
living in a hole for the next 6 years of your life while you pay everything off.
Hey, last night.
Should be living in a ditch. While Connor Happer over here.
Ramen noodles.
The greatest advice, I've told this with my mother. I said, a great piece of advice I got from one of my radio friends is just go into debt. And she goes, it's not a terrible idea.
Bang.
She goes, just live your life. She goes, money comes back.
Yeah,
You'll make it.
You'll figure it out. You'll figure it out.
We're into nostalgia. So last night we watched the NBA on NBC. When Round Ball Rock comes on and you hear that tune, what do? Do you hum it? Do you sing it? You go basketball.
I do a do.
Yeah, I will say basketball in my head.
Yeah, SNL really ruined it, but made it better.
Yeah. Thank you. What's his name?
Jason Sudeikis.
Yes.
Yeah.
Did you see John Tesh was on the Today Show performing it live?
Oh yeah, we
yesterday?
played it on the radio. Yeah.
Good for John Tesh, man. Way to take that one-hit wonder and just ride
Whoa,
it out.
John Tesh, information for your life. That is not a one-hit wonder.
After the break, I'll tell you what's healthier for your breakfast: a bagel or a cigarette.
Didn't he also do like the top 40 countdown?
No, because we went straight from Casey Kasem, and then we had
Seacrest,
and then we had Casey Kasem, like dead Casey Kasem, and then
they're just playing reruns.
Yeah, and then I think straight to Seacrest.
do like
this
radio station still do like the weekend top 40?
I think
they
so,
play it in Brainerd, Minnesota all summer long. They just rerun Casey Kasem at the top 40.
We don't have it on any of our
wild.
stations here, though.
I don't know.
I think it would be on 94.1.
Correct.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Yeah.
We listen to the Power Loon and the Casey Kasem channel in Minnesota, and it's just Casey going to town.
I love it.
He's like, this band charted
Before
in
Spotify and Apple
1972.
Music, like that's the way you listen. Like you listen to the top 40. On
Absolutely, 100%. I'd get pissed sometimes because they talk too much. You know, he's always saying something. I'm just play the damn songs. Just say this is number 6.
You don't like the puns? You don't like the
Seacrest.
Yeah, come
Seacrest
on,
in
it's
his
Ryan.
46 job. Well,
Sick of him.
He cut back because he's not on Kelly Ripa's show anymore.
Right.
How many wives
But he
does
picked
have,
up
though?
Wheel of Fortune
Yeah, that's right. Well, but Wheel of Fortune, where they work 30 days a year.
at tops.
I mean, it's a fantastic gig.
It's
What a
such a
gig.
good gig.
You hang out with Vanna.
What a gig. What a gig.
That and the man, if this doesn't work out for me, I gotta become the host of Survivor.
You got me doing a request for an upbeat song after somebody's dedicating it to their dead dog.
Yeah, that's right. That's a pretty good Casey Kasem.
Or
Nice
have you guys
job.
ever listened to Delilah in Chicago?
Delilah, yeah, we got Delilah here too.
And
For
then
our friends in Brainerd, Minnesota, and their
This-
dog
this-
Scout.
This note comes in from Layla. Layla writes, Delilah, I love this man. I've loved him longer than I could ever imagine. He is everything to me.
Mhm.
He picks up after me. He does the dishes. He treats me so well,
Wow, what
and
do
he's
you
so
do, lady?
kind.
Yeah.
But I don't know. but I'm waiting for him to ask the question. And
We
I
all miss
don't-
Casey.
And I don't know if it's ever going to come. I love him so much, Delilah. I think of him every day,
Here's
and
Wilson
I want to be
Phillips.
with him forever.
And then they play,
But when
hey
will
there,
it happen?
Delilah.
And then
what's it
she
like?
goes, Layla, you have to love yourself, baby. Okay, and that's what she says. She
Thank
always
you.
says that you have to love yourself.
All right.
That
You
was-
guys have a great afternoon. Great job. Excellent times.
You too. Have
Go Jays,
fun.
go baseball.
Mm-hmm. You're hearing it more and more
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
from more and more famous people.
Mm-hmm.
Do you?
Sandler, Rob Schneider, the other guy.
Yeah.
Rob Schneider is awesome.
Okay, so there was another guy that was with them that people don't know.
Yeah, the cross-eyed guy from Waterboy.
Oh, he
Yes.
showed up. Yeah, he was dope. He was funny too. He just came on and gave him like water
Did he
or
do?
something.
So he didn't have any.
He didn't have any lines. No, he didn't really.
It is such a good life to be
He
a
didn't-
friend of
he
Adam
just-
Sandler.
he literally-
There's your
he-
water,
Sam-
Mr. Sandler.
Sandler literally goes, all right, I'm going to get a drink. Here comes our buddy. You know who he is. And he comes up and he did the cross-eyed thing. And then he goes, yeah, Omaha. And then he left.
That's
And
awesome.
that was it.
But he
But-
did get some shots up
But
at Creighton
he
yesterday.
did have an opener. He had an opener who was a really good opener who was a guy to start. And he was funny. And he had a great joke about Diddy. And then
Oh,
okay. No, he took a picture. He has a picture of him with Diddy when he was like 6 years old.
yeah.
And like he was making the joke, and everyone's like, "Oh, you don't have." And then he showed the picture on the. It was a great pop. And then he had maybe the worst opener I've ever listened to.
All right, I do have one more question for you. Because I said this to Josh before the show. How do you feel about comedy shows in arenas?
I
I
think they're way better in smaller venues.
100%.
I've been to a couple. I've been lucky enough to go to some small venues in Chicago.
Like if I was in the Upper Bowl, I would just probably not go.
Well, here's my thing.
Yeah.
I was even sitting in the 100 section, and I was in 106. Like I was in the rows before the Lexus Club turns into the Lexus Club. And
kind of seems far away.
Even then, I was still I caught myself looking at the video board a lot and not necessarily at Sandler,
Doesn't seem
well,
right.
like I went to the Burt Kreischer comedy show in PBA, and I was like, I kind of just paid $60 to like sit and watch a movie theater
on a screen
of Burt Kreischer. So yeah, you're totally right.
Sort of
Smaller venues are way better.
So,
Like,
but Nate Bargatze was in Lincoln and sold out PBA.
Yeah.
Mulaney is coming in March, but he's going to the Orpheum.
That'll be cool.
I'm going to the
Yeah.
Orpheum.
That'd be cool.
But
The
like,
Holland is a good place to see. So Nikki Glazer was at the Holland.
Okay.
But I always wonder about comedians being able to sell out a large arena. Amy Schumer, I saw her at the Chai when she was like at the peak.
oh wow,
God,
She
there's
did
no
sell out the
chance.
arena, but you are so far away that you watch it on the screen.
you are. Well, the Chai. I'll just say this: I like the Chai a lot, but I think PBA is better for comedy than the Chai. I think just because you're closer, just because you're intimate.
Because the team that plays there is funnier.
No. I think it's just more. It's a little bit more of a. It's a little bit.
gotta-
more,
hey, you
Not
gotta-
even a laugh.
You got to close that loophole. Okay, you can't let him sneak in there.
What do you mean? I mean, I don't got a dog. I'm not like dying or anything. You can make all the jokes he wants. You know what the funny thing is?
What?
The
What's
last
the funny thing?
time the two teams played, Nebraska won. That's what the real funny thing is.
People do forget that.
You do forget that.
People
Not
forget
people. You
that.
forget.
Better place to watch a concert, PBA or the Chai.
I have
See,
no idea.
I don't know about that. I'm saying comedy specific. I
Wait a
prefer
minute.
PBA.
You've been to shows
I
in
have
both.
I have. They seem the same to
They
me.
seem the exact same to me. Like you're the thing about the concert shows, they do a way better job of putting the stage in the middle of the arena and not like in a corner.
Okay.
Like the comedy shows do.
I just heard back from Marty Cordero
Yeah.
because I texted him. I said, "Did you spill popcorn on Matt on purpose?" And he said, "Absolutely, 100%. That guy is a huge idiot." No, he said, "I wish I did. It would have been a better story."
It was so funny.
Sad.
Marty was so apologetic, and I'm like, "Dude, don't worry, dude. Don't like." I wasn't even gonna turn around. I was like, "No big deal." And then I looked at him and I go, "Marty Cordero," and he looked at me and goes, "You don't have your beard." And he was like, "I was like, yeah, nice to see you too."
Maybe you thought you were me.
No,
Just kidding.
all right, we look nothing alike. I'm way better looking than you are.
See you guys later. That's the crossover powered by Every Level Concrete Repair and Mod, everylevelconcrete.com. It is Wednesday. We'll start things off next.
That's the crossover. The Connor Happer Show is next on 1620 The Zone.
A chilly start Wednesday with frost possible early on. Otherwise, expect mainly sunny and milder conditions as we head into the afternoon. Highs in the low to mid 60s. I'm meteorologist Sean Everson from KETV News Watch 7.
At Baxter Subaru Omaha, we've changed the car buying process to better serve our guests. Experience no handoffs, no hassles, and no hidden fees now. And shop our great selection of Subaru models available at BaxterSubaruOmaha.com.
You hear that? That's the sound of your business losing money. Legacy phone systems weren't built for today's teams. Quo, formerly OpenPhone, gives your business a smarter way to stay connected. Quo lets you manage calls, texts, voicemail, and contacts all in one place so that you can deliver a seamless customer experience from ring to... Need to take calls on the go? Quo automatically transcribes, summarizes, and highlights next steps from every call, so you never miss a detail. Need insight into what closes a sale? With Quo's AI call tags, you can instantly spot key topics like objections or pricing questions and use those insights to level up every customer interaction. And yes, you can bring your existing number with you for free. Keep
It's the Connor Happer Show with Connor Happer and Josh Odson. Let's get this party started on 1620 The Zone.
All right, day two. We'll see how long it goes. The round ball rock intro. Since round ball rock can just be used anywhere now, which is fantastic. Welcome to the show. Just quickly before we get to Robin here, we have him on the line. Robin, Mitch, that's our lineup. Powered by the Roofery's at John Higgins Weather Guard today. And so we're now joined on the Prairie Flower Casino Zone hotline by our good friend Robin Washut from HuskerOnline.com. Robin, good morning. How we doing?
Good morning. Can I put in a request?
Of course, we are always live on the request line.
Okay, if we're doing Roundabout Rock for my particular intro, can we use the SNL one where they like had the lyrics to it?
Ba, 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 basketball. Yeah.
Basketball, give me the ball because I'm gonna go dunk it. Yeah.
Okay, so we're just going to use that clip right there. That should be pretty good. We're probably due for a Robin intro
little refresh.
redux. Yeah. So, okay, we could get on that for sure. And of course, as always, we take requests on the request line. So, Robin, I'm told it didn't all go to plan as far as the travel was concerned over the weekend. Is this right?
No, it was a a gamble to begin with. We did our game coverage and post game show, which wrapped up around like 2 a.m. Up in Minneapolis. Got back to the hotel. By the time we were actually like in the room, it was probably closer to 3. And at that point, I had my alarm set for 4 to get up and go to the airport for my 6 a.m. flight. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to stay up. And so I went and I got my Pro Football Focus grades done for the next hour, and then packed up, took a shower, and headed for the airport. Well, everything was fine until they announced that there was a grounding at O'Hare because of weather, and no flights were going in or out for over an hour and a half. And as you can imagine, that created some chaos. And so it, delayed getting out of Minneapolis. And luckily I had a hour and 45 layover, but used every bit of that. And I was fortunate enough that my flight to Lincoln from O'Hare was delayed as well. So all in all, by the time I got to Lincoln and Ubered straight to the arena, I walked in right before the start of the second half. So I missed the rink mast bonanza 16 of 18 to start, but I got to see the other 15 that he scored and watch Nebraska finish off the job there.
You were pretty surprised maybe when you walked in the door and you saw that it was 50-46. You were like, what's going on? What era of basketball am I in?
Well, luckily other people were giving me multiple updates. So I was able to have a pretty good idea of what had happened to that point where Rink was going bananas. AJ Bansa was everything that had been advertised, and Nebraska was keeping pace, offensively with the way that they were shooting. So I had a good sense of how that game had gone to that point, but the fact that they were actually able to finish the job and hold off a team of that caliber down the stretch, certainly encouraging as far as exhibitions go.
And then you watched the game, and then after the game got over, you watched the end, I assume, of what looked to be a nice Sunday win for the New York Football Giants until it wasn't.
Yeah, thanks for bringing that up.
You're welcome.
Yeah, let's talk about it more.
I'll say this: I never have seen a luckier play than the Broncos' first touchdown. I don't know how it went straight to the guy diving in the back of the end zone off of a tip, and that's how the comeback began. Bo Nix is a luck merchant. That's what I'll say about that.
Yeah, well, the Giants had a ball bounce off one receiver and into the hands of another receiver for a touchdown as well. So there was enough luck to go around that quickly shifted one direction when it mattered the most.
Okay, so basketball-wise here, and not basketball, but I guess it's college basketball, so you get to hear that sometimes as well. Did you have anything like confirmed that you thought about this team from that game, or did your mind change on anything as far as how you feel like Nebraska basketball is going to set things up this year?
Probably more confirmed that they do have the ability to be a high-level three-point shooting team, not just in terms of volume, but the number of shooters that can step up. Obviously Rink was Rink, but they had multiple other guys hit a three and hit multiple threes. Connor Season was on. Price Stanford hit a couple after a slow start. So the fact that they had so many different guys contribute to those 16 made threes kind of, like I said, confirms the notion that this team was going to be built around shooting, and that was going to be probably their greatest strength. And I guess, exhibition or not, it was good to see the ball go through the basket at that type of clip and see kind of what the picture of the offense could look like when the shots are falling and things are clicking at that level. Also Rink, there's no surprise that, he is going to be the heartbeat of everything Nebraska does. And when he's good, Nebraska is going to be good. So I don't know if he's going to hit 7 threes a game again, but, that at least shows that he's capable of doing that. And, just not just his shooting, but I thought the way that the offense was moving, like the ball didn't stick. There was a point early, again, I didn't see it, but I heard that, the offense kind of looked a little, kind of like it was going through mud a little bit, but then they eventually got the ball popping a little bit, and we're playing with a really high level tempo. And that, that goes to Rink facilitating in the half court, but then also Jamarcus Lawrence. I thought he was an excellent tone setter, especially late in that game where, he led them in defensive rebounds. And when your lead guard is rebounding the basketball and finishing possessions, and then immediately pushing the ball up floor and, getting the offense going, that's where I think this system is at its best. So, Rink was everything Nebraska hoped and wanted him to be in his return. But I thought Jamarcus Lawrence and his command of the offense was just as much of a pleasant surprise as anything, because, that lead guard role was one of the bigger question marks going into this season. And if Jamarcus could play at that level, 9 assists to 1 turnover over 30-plus minutes, leading the team in rebounds. He didn't shoot it well, but he did everything else right. And if that can continue more often than not, and Rink can be, anywhere close to that type of player, that's a pretty good start to what could be a pretty formidable offense for Nebraska.
I think I'll point out a couple guys here who are going into their second years in the program who transferred in, and they're going to be important pieces to what Nebraska does this year. Connor Essegian makes 5 threes in the exhibition. He's going to be a big part of what they do. And Berke Buchtengel, who doesn't know what the Baltimore Orioles are, but he
Oregon Ducks.
But he certainly, trimmed up a little bit in the offseason. How much of a year 2 jump are you expecting from those two in particular?
Yeah, I mean, like, staying healthy is the big thing for Berke, because, when he was healthy last year, he was playing pretty well. And, now that I think he really dedicated himself this offseason, probably more so than he ever has. And you said to talk about the shape that he's in. That not only allows him to probably be a little bit more dynamic, but also it's going to allow him to stay on the court longer. He's just in better condition, and he's going to be able to produce at a high level for longer stretches of time. And, I think the big impact area, he only shot 1 3 in that game, just so hopefully, they don't need as much of that from him with Rink back, and he can maybe be more of a presence in the paint on both ends. Especially I think his value is on the defensive end. The way that they trap the baseline and, do that whole thing where they double the post, he's a really good defender in that role. He's just so long. He gets his arms up. He plays straight up. And there was a few times when BYU got the ball into that trap and they couldn't do anything, with Berke just kind of suffocating the play. And so he's one of their better defensive rebounders. He's one of their better post defenders. And being in better shape will allow him to stay on the floor and, maybe help him defend without fouling a little bit better too. So, again, it's one sample size, but I think you started to see maybe a little bit different of a role with Berke with guys like Rink back. And then, even more so, when Oogie rejoins the lineup, hopefully on Monday, that could continue to maybe progress the evolution of him being a different type of player in this rotation than he was last year.
All right, Robin, we will let you go. Appreciate you as always joining. Good to have a basketball only conversation. There will be plenty of time to talk about football. So thanks.
Absolutely. Talk to you next week.
Robin Washut from HuskerOnline.com. Nebraska basketball has one more exhibition Monday against Midland, and then they open up with something called West Georgia on November 3rd.
Did you say Midland?
Yeah, Midland. Like, you don't like me because I'm from Midland.
Not Midland.
No, it's Midland University in Fremont, but I call them Midland.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Midland. And then West Georgia is the weird one. I never heard of West Georgia in my entire life. I mean, I'm sure there is a western part of Georgia, but
sure,
yeah, but I never heard of the University of West Georgia.
What are they?
They are the Wolves. They're the Wolves.
Yeah, their mascot is Wolfie.
Wolfie the Wolf, Scott Wolf.
UWG's cherished mascot, who was introduced in 2005.
Wolfie.
Yeah.
Cherished over generations since 2005. All right. We'll be back. We'll kind of reset the deck here to start the show. Plenty to come on the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
No.
Chevy Dealer Group. I was facing cancer. When I was facing cancer, the treatment I needed wasn't available where I lived, but we found a home away from home for free with the American Cancer Society's Hope Lodge. Our American Cancer Society's Hope Lodge brings people closer to their cancer treatment. And you can learn more or donate by calling 1-800-227-2345 or visit cancer.org.
I'm Doug Nodgard with Equitable Bank. We know your time matters, so when you call us, we answer on the very first ring. That's our promise to you. We value your business and will treat you like a friend and neighbor, because more than likely, you are one. While other banks hide behind technology, we
let's get back to the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
Here comes the clown.
Plaquette said before you didn't have the heart to tell Robin that Round Ball Rock wasn't actually for him. No, I didn't.
Yeah.
Poor guy. He was like, I requested Round Ball. Now what do we do? Do we keep our Round Ball Rock open?
Look,
or do you just make a spin-off just for him?
oftentimes when you call a radio station, you're requesting a song that they are already
playing a lot,
going to play.
Yeah. All right, so maybe we could just play it twice. Play the hits, as they say. That is Radio 101 after all.
1620 The Zone is the hit station.
So thanks to Robin for joining. Mitch Sherman will come up in a little while. Once again, that's the lineup powered by the Rooferees at John Higgins Weather Guard. We'd love to hear from you all today. 402-951-1620 on the Prairie Flower Casino Zone Hotline. You can call or text that number as always. Tweet at Happer Show at Connor Happer on the JTech Constructions on Twitter feed. As always, you can email Connor, Josh O at 1620thezone.com in the Equitable Bank Zone inbox. Josh, as always. When I point at you, you say,
"Oh."
I watch Moneyball. And we say good morning to the YouTube streamers.
As always.
1620 The Zone TV, whether it be on YouTube or 1620thezone.com, zonetv.live. All of those things. Like Josh said, as always, he gets on base. Also today on the show, it's Wednesday. I have an opinion.
Yes.
Oh, we've received already an opinion that I'm going to enjoy talking about.
Okay.
So there's one in, at least. There's going to be more, I would assume. So can't wait to see what you guys have in your opinion bank. We'll open that up at noon, so get those in any way you like to get in touch with the show. Also, 1 o'clock, Big Ten Power Rankings with Tears. What happened? What happened to the Big Ten Conference this week, and what will happen this upcoming week? Did you know that the bottom, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 teams in the conference, the worst 6 teams in this conference, are a combined 1-23 in the league.
Whoa, no, I did not know that.
If you take out Maryland, there are 5 teams in this conference that are 0-4. 0-20.
Wow.
Yep.
No, I did not.
You're gonna want some, I don't know. You're gonna want some of those bottom teams to have the ability to beat your middle teams. It makes up for a good depth of the conference, but at the same time, I guess the big dogs and the middle dogs alike need some overruns, and they have identified themselves this year. So we will get to that coming up at 1 o'clock. We are very, very happy that you have decided to join us today, ladies and gentlemen. So let's do a show. We don't even have to take a break to do so. We can just start it. What are the topics today? Somebody was, who was it earlier?
It was Doug.
Doug
in Idaho.
It said he was, he was complaining that there wasn't some Husker football talk. I don't know. That's the way I took it anyway. He was complaining that there wasn't any Husker football topic yet. He says, the subject of today's show, it says, here's what you're going to talk about. What is your confidence level that Nebraska will figure this out? And are we talking about the Penn State job anymore? Those will be topics on the show today. I was like, how did he know that? But Josh must have put out a great description of the show today.
Sure did.
Those are indeed some of the topics. To start off, Nebraska, as we said during the crossover, has announced a concert in Memorial Stadium on August 22nd. So now we get to play the game of, do you know that these people exist?
Oh, fun game.
Some people are
person to play with.
Some people are young and hip and cool. Mm-hmm. Other people don't know what's going on. Where do you land on these people? The headliner, well, it says the boys from Oklahoma, which I think is all of these people combined.
That's where my main confusion was.
Okay. But the headliner, there's co-headliners, it appears.
Okay.
So I have definitely heard of Turnpike Troubadours.
I have as well.
I don't know what songs they do.
Correct.
But I've heard of Turnpike Troubadours. I have not heard of Cross Canadian Ragweed. And I'm not shaming anybody for knowing about Cross Canadian Ragweed. I just don't know. I listened to a couple of their songs during the break just then. Sounds great.
Seems fine.
Seems fine to me. And then some people named Cody Jinks and Flatland Cavalry and more. Presale sign-up starts today.
Whoa.
At 5, and presale purchases start a week from. I'm sorry, not. Presale starts today, and will end on October 27th at 5, and presale purchases will start on October 29th at 10, and any remaining general public tickets will be available on Halloween at 10 o'clock in the morning.
I will share that I am familiar with Cody. What's his name?
Jinks.
Not because of his music, but because I follow the Lord family, Rusty and his wife.
Okay.
And his wife is a huge fan of this Cody gentleman.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
And
so that's how you know.
They've gone to a couple of his concerts, and I'm like, okay.
Thank you, Rusty Lord's wife.
Yes.
And Rusty.
Yes.
Himself, of course.
Both entertaining follows.
Indeed. Plaquette says this is the country music Who He Play For spinoff. Who He Play For might make a return tonight. 5 o'clock on ESPN inside the NBA. People were already annoyed last night at all the NBA tweets. Don't worry. They'll go away for several months.
Yeah.
But
it
was nice to watch it on opening night. I wanted to see what NBC was all about. And boy, did they bring it.
Give them a week,
NBC
yesterday, ESPN tonight, first Amazon Prime is sometime this week.
100%.
And then it'll recede.
It'll go away. It'll just be Padilla and Dirk.
Mm-hmm.
Those guys love the NBA, and just they'll do their thing, and they'll slide into the background for a little while, and nobody else will be tweeting about it for a long time. But last night, I was very interested in what NBC was going to bring to the table, and they delivered, except for the fact that Reggie Miller was on the broadcast. I did not like that part.
Oh, you don't think they should retire Serge Ibaka's number in Oklahoma City?
Was that one of his takes?
That was a take he gave?
Unbelievable.
By the man who blocked me on Twitter for reasons I still don't know.
Reggie Miller blocked you?
Yeah.
What a jerk. We are anti-Reggie Miller on this show.
Maybe I said something positive about Cheryl at one point, and he must have taken offense to that.
Wow. Don't you talk about my sister like that?
Well, I mean, he probably said something, and I said, Cheryl knows more ball than this guy or something. And he probably
he got offended by that?
Something like I can't find the tweet. I can't find the reason.
I'm still trying to figure out why the guy on TV right now blocked me, but I couldn't figure that one out either.
Old Sleeves McGee.
Patty Max. I can't quite figure that one out.
Yeah. God, this is just a roster full of the ugliest people you can find.
Yeah.
Pat's a nice Pat's a nice looking guy, but everyone else on that show is just death warmed over.
Yeah, dudes might be uglier now.
Yeah.
Poll question.
Good take. Our dude's uglier now.
Yeah. I think there's probably some truth to that. Or maybe they just care less about being, or they think that like being the ugliest version of themselves like is good.
I'm not saying I'm good looking, by the way. That's not what.
No. We're not hot guys.
Yeah. You're on national television every day, and you're looking like
it's part of the charm. He's got a dirty old hat and hair that goes down to his shoulders and whatever. It's part of the charm.
I would pull my child closer to me at the gas station if I saw that creature.
Part of the charm. Part of the charm. Poll question up. Are dudes uglier now?
Would really like the women who listen to this station to get in and vote on this one.
Vote no, please. But if you vote no, then you will continue to enable the men to look uglier. So I don't know. Be careful with whichever way you vote. Trey Dannon spoke last night on the radio.
What did he say?
He said that there was 100,000 Savannah Banana tickets in the lottery. 100,000.
Disgusting.
It's like the entire state. Was that math not right?
No, I mean,
okay.
I think you are correct.
It's like an 18th of the state or something like that. We got to be over 2 million now, don't we? Everyone always says 1.8 million. We got to be over 2. What are the latest census data saying on Nebraska's population?
2024, 2.005 million.
We're over 2.
Mhm.
We finally passed
We
it.
did it. Good job. Congrats on the sex, Nebraska.
Nice job by us. I helped birth a Nebraskan in the last
You
15
did your
months.
part. Yeah.
Yeah.
Congrats.
Maybe my daughter was the 2 millionth person.
Whoa. Yeah.
Did they?
They had.
Do they have a ribbon or something when
They had to.
when they walk through the door? They say you're the 2 millionth person to live here. They should have done that. It's like when you go to the zoo and you're the millionth person to go to the zoo over a period of time.
They'll take your photo and they'll give you a tour. And
Yeah, I think they had a couple years ago at the Storm Chasers games. They had their millionth fan, and they stopped the whole thing. And they were like, you won! You're the millionth fan. The guy was like, whoa, take it easy. Here, I'm just trying to go to a ball game here tonight, man. Trying to get some beer, something like that. Anyway, yes, the topics do include: are we talking about Penn State this week? And what is your confidence level that Nebraska is going to figure things out? And Tennessee fans have apparently done it again. They are trying to pull off the very rare reverse Shiano right now.
reverse Shiano.
They're
What's
trying
that?
to
win all your games.
Remember what they did to Shiano?
Yes, he was.
They tried to hire him, and then they threw an absolute fit. And then they didn't hire him.
And they were proven to be correct.
So now the Giants are trying to hire Tony Vitello away from their baseball team, and they're saying, actually, he sucks. You shouldn't hire him. He's got all these skeletons in his closet. There's no way it would ever be a good thing for you. You have to leave him alone and let him be the coach at Tennessee. Is it working? Maybe. He's still the coach at Tennessee, to my knowledge. I don't know. What's going on over there?
Wild strategy.
Yeah.
I'd like to talk to the person who thought of it.
All right, so we got a lot of opinions from you all today, and of course we will open that up at noon. No, we are not talking about Penn State this week very much.
Oh,
speaking of Danny
Would
going
you
on the
like
radio
to?
last night, but yeah, I actually would.
Okay.
I would like to for a little bit. Is there a certain point where Matt Rule is, I guess it depends on what your thought is going into this conversation. Do you believe that Matt Rule is a viable candidate for the Penn State job?
Yes. Yes, I do.
I do as well. All the conversation and the reporting that I've heard out of Penn State confirm that. He is a candidate, or if you're listening to some people, he is the candidate for the job. Okay. So if we go to the next step from there, is there a certain point where he no longer is a viable candidate at Penn State if this Nebraska thing were to spin off into different territory, something like that?
I believe only massive scandal will prevent him from
being a candidate.
At Penn State.
Okay.
Yes.
And once again, we're not saying he's going to take the job.
Correct.
Being a candidate. It's a different thing. You think so?
Yes.
You don't think if Nebraska goes like 6-6 this year, you don't think it matters?
He's still connected in the right ways. He's still the opposite of James Franklin in that he will glad hand with the boosters, which was a huge critique of James Franklin. I understand wins and losses matter there at Penn State, but he's still one of us, deeply connected, and has some things that they're looking for. And also, I think they're going to get shot down a couple times and maybe like, okay, we got to fill this thing. People are getting their pitchforks. They're coming for me. Why haven't you filled this job yet? Why haven't you filled this job yet?
It's interesting.
This is an in-demand job. Why is no one taking it?
Well, the other
I'll just
thing-
call Matt Rule. He'll take it.
The other thing about that job is there is no obvious candidate.
That's part of it, right?
And maybe he is the closest thing to an obvious candidate, right? In the conventional way that we think about how to hire coaches. But I do think we're seeing a little bit of a breaking in that norm. Like I was making the case earlier for Tiny Baby Neuheisel to get the UCLA job. And from my perspective, I don't see why not. You're not looking anymore at in my opinion, and I think this is a good way to approach it for the record. Like, we look at coaching hiring processes through the resume perspective. But as we have come to find out over the years, there's a lot more to a coach than what the resume says. There's a lot more than what they would bring to you. And the circumstance in which that you are just coming out of absolutely and definitively matters, right? Not only from a resume perspective, but also from a who you are and what you're going to be all about perspective. So frankly, like I do think UCLA should look hard at Tiny Baby Neuheisel. Like, I really do.
I agree.
And you know, one of the things that, not to put his own words and use them against him here, but like, one of the things that Rule has always said is, why are we so worried about optics? Why are we so worried about the things that what people think about us? Just do what you think is best and what you think will fit. And if you feel like you're not making a hire or not firing a person because the optics would look bad for it, then you're not doing what you intended to do.
Mm-hmm.
You're doing yourself a disservice in the hiring and firing process.
Neuheisel's going to champion UCLA like nobody else. Like, why run away from that?
And if he checks out from what you're going to get from a football perspective, that the good thing for them is they'll have a chance to do all their due diligence while this season continues to go on. But if it keeps getting better and better, he's going to become the bright, shining candidate for that job, or at least, wow, I just saw this. At least in, for UCLA's sake. By the way, I just saw this from KTV. Sorry, I got distracted because I saw this news. You know that flight from Omaha to LAX that they had to turn around because they thought somebody was trying to storm the cabin, but it was really just they couldn't make connection with the crew in the back.
Yes.
So they had to land it back here. Brian Windhorst was on the plane.
Windy.
That's from KETV. How about that?
You see the tweet from Bill Shammer? Is that how you saw it?
Yeah.
Quote, everyone in the newsroom. You talked to who? Beth. His name was Brian. I guess he works for ESPN.
That's amazing. That's great.
Did she just talk to him at random? Hey, can I talk to you for...
She did a report, Beth, I don't know her name, I'm sorry, who was out at Eppley Airfield reporting on this issue. And she's like, yes, I talked to a bunch of, people who were on the plane. And then there's this video attached to it. And it's Brian Windhorst from his, with his background of a city. And that's incredible. What a get. What a great find.
Good get, Beth.
Good get, Beth. Nice job. You talked to who? Yeah, I don't know. His name's Brian. He was on the plane and whatever. I guess he works at ESPN or something.
No big deal.
And then now people will finally maybe start to ask the question, why was Brian Windhorst on a plane from Omaha to LAX? What was he doing in Omaha? And then people will find out that he lives here.
And he'll be like, yeah, I live there. It's great. Everyone should live there.
Everyone should live there.
The roads are easily travelable.
Uh-huh. And the beautiful airport will definitely be done
in
a short period of time. Indeed.
It's going to be embarrassing when that airport gets done. And
that airport sucks right now.
There are several other projects that are not done.
I know you didn't go into the airport when you flew, Josh, but I did like a normie. And it's a tough look right now. It's a tough look. It's going to be good, but it's a tough look right now. There are exposed wires in the baggage claim area. There's no ceiling. It's just, I'm like, is this right?
You're going to want a ceiling.
You're going to want a ceiling. Anyway, I heard we're getting a lounge. I got an airport notification today.
Oh.
Expanding premier customer service with Escape Lounge. The Omaha Airport Authority has announced Escape Lounges as the first ever airport lounge at Eppley Airfield.
Got a question here from Platcat. We can help the people one by one.
Platcat!
Wait, Connor, I have to fly out tomorrow. How ass is it?
I mean, it won't really hurt you in terms of time, but it's just a bit of an eyesore to look at the moment. Yeah.
Pardon our dust.
Yeah. It's a bit of there are some tight cramped spaces and things like that. You'll be okay, but it's a tough look. It's a tough look, that's all. Okay. Back to Rule in Penn State. So to your point, Josh, I think I agree with everything you said. I don't know what the point is where he isn't a viable candidate for the job. But there does probably come a certain, even though I just argued against it, there probably does come a certain point where you're like, we just can't do this. For the record, I don't think we're going to get there this year because I don't think the season is going to go off the rails like a lot of people do. I don't think the season is going to go off the rails. So I don't think Nebraska is going to go 6-6. I don't think Nebraska is going to, not win any games for the rest of the season. So therefore, I do think Rule will both conventionally and unconventionally continue to be a viable candidate for the Penn State job. This will continue on. The conversation will ramp right back up when Nebraska wins.
That was going to be my question to you. After a win, do you have 5 or 6 days where it's like Matt Rule to Penn State? I think I'm hearing it could happen. And then if they lose, you don't hear a word about it.
No, here's what's funny about it.
Just all go away.
It doesn't make him any less or more of a candidate. Like this week, since Nebraska lost to Minnesota, it was a disaster on Friday night. In my opinion, it doesn't make him any less of a candidate for the job. It just makes us talk about it less because we have our own problems that we have to deal with.
Okay.
It's just like last week, you could say in hindsight that the conversation about Rule was a distraction going into the Minnesota game. Right now, it feels like the football is a distraction from Rule being a candidate at Penn State, which is a good distraction for the record, like for the football team, for the stuff that actually matters. Like they're more focused on the football stuff this week, and they certainly have everybody's attention over there. But I don't, in summation, I do not believe that this conversation is anywhere near being over. I don't believe that this conversation is anywhere near being over, and I don't think Nebraska, I don't think Nebraska losing or having a tough stretch here in November or whatever it might be. Like I don't think that makes it any less. Maybe it makes it less likely, but it doesn't make it any less possible.
Yesterday on my drive home, I was looking for a little national flavor to my sports talk on the drive home. So I flipped over to 1180. I wanted to see what's the national story. Sometimes we can't see the forest through the trees here when we do these shows. And they had a Penn State honk on talking about who was going to fill the Penn State job. And at the end, the host said,
"What are we talking about? It's going to be about Rule."
Held a gun to your head, made you pick right now. Who would you pick? Who do you think will be the next head coach at Penn State? And he said, as much as I don't like it, Matt Rule. So
isn't that kind of what we thought about Matt Rule when they were hiring him? I remember landing on Matt Rule on the wheel, and I thought, yeah, this is sort of underwhelming.
He seems like a nice guy.
It's sort of underwhelming because that's sort of how he is, right? He's just like kind of underwhelming, right? Not as a coach, but then you get to know him a little bit and you're like, oh, okay, there's some really, really great qualities about him, especially, if you want to talk about what great qualities are in head coaches in the next age of college football, like Rule's got a lot of them.
Absolutely.
He's got a lot of them. He's an excellent face for a program. And, you equip him with that kind of talent and a love for Penn State and all that stuff. Like, yeah, that seems like a very reasonable inquisition.
If hired, he'll wear a great blue suit. He'll break down and cry, and he'll say,
"This is amazing. This is the greatest moment of my life.
I'm home. Last job I'm ever going to have.
This will be it for me." But I also love that last place. That place was cool. Don't worry.
A lot of great people there. A lot of great memories I'm going to cherish.
Aaron says, the only thing that I really know is if he isn't a candidate for Penn State, it's a very bad thing for Nebraska on many levels. Yeah, like,
okay, yeah.
Maybe there, like I said, maybe there is a certain point where it's just like you just can't. You just really can't anymore. But I think that would be like losing out for Nebraska.
Yeah, that would be pretty damning, but
I also think
I still think he'd get an interview.
I also think there's a world where if Nebraska rips off a couple wins in a row here and they all of a sudden get back hot again, maybe they will, maybe they won't. It could reverse all the way to the other side of the pendulum, and they'll announce an extension and they'll say he's staying and we don't have to worry about all that stuff.
Many people think he's already signed it, and they just can't announce it because of the optics.
Optics. People think that. I wonder if they. I wonder if they're ready to go with,
How's the
with some
dry
of these
bar doing,
things.
by the way?
Probably pretty well. Hey, what's he doing? What's going on over there? So yeah, just to touch base on this, I think this is a conversation until further notice that is still very, very present in our world, although we haven't talked about it much since the debacle on Friday night. Back to the debacle with Mitch Sherman from The Athletic, coming up next on 1620 The Zone.
Who do you want to talk about first?
Mitch Sherman, The Athletic.
He can play. And we need people that can play.
And we'll never be royal. Let me live that fantasy. Oh.
Mitch Sherman, The Athletic. On The Connor Happer Show. On 1620, The Zone.
He could play. We need people who can play. That's from Moneyball. I watched that on the plane. That did not have to return to Epley Airfield and did not have Brian Windhorst on it. We're joined now on the Prairie Flower Casino Zone hotline by Mitch Sherman from The Athletic. Hi, Mitch.
Wait, was Brian Windhorst on the plane that had to turn around?
Yes, he was. KTV interviewed him, and they were like, so the reporter went out there. Obviously, she doesn't know anything about sports. And she was like, I caught up with Brian, who was on the plane to LAX.
No way.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's incredible.
They're like, wow, you're really comfortable in front of the camera.
He had a whole.
You got a great Zoom set up there, Brian.
They got him on the Zoom, and he had his whole ESPN background up, and they were like, he works for ESPN or whatever. And Bill Shammert put out a tweet earlier, and he was like, wait a minute, you talked to who? Incredible. Fantastic.
Did the interview delve into Kevin Durant's return to Oklahoma City last night?
No,
anything like that.
But it was amazing to hear him analyze the 5-minute flight like it was LeBron James's career. That was awesome.
Yes. He's like, and then we made a sharp left, and you could see an open space up the road. I know it was going to be a smooth landing when we. Yeah, that's great. That's great. That made my day.
Yeah, check it out. I tweeted it out with a little LMAO, but our friends at KTV tweeted it out a little bit ago. It's a great 1 minute.
What if it would have been like Stephen A. Smith on the plane? I think they would have known.
Well, now people are going to start asking the question, what was Windhorst doing in Omaha? And they can finally answer, oh, yeah, he lives here. He's one of ours.
Yeah, I think we're beyond that. People know that, right?
Maybe not as well known
outside of sports.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Huh. All right.
They know now.
That's great.
It's fantastic.
I'm on Highway 370. Speaking of things in Omaha, you guys know about the Battle of 370 that's coming up on Friday?
Is it Papillion and Papillion La Vista or something, or Papillion La Vista, Papillion La Vista South?
No, it's Gretna and Gretna East.
Whoa. That's a battle for 370?
It is, yeah. I mean, if you drive from Gretna High School to Gretna East High School, you have to take Highway 370.
Okay. I like this.
So it's the battle for 370 West. Papillion could probably stake it. Bellevue could probably stake its claim on some level, but not like now. It's going to be pretty great Friday night at the stadium. Yeah.
So
looking forward to it.
Do you when Elkhorn and Elkhorn South play each other, is it the battle for 204th Street?
Yeah, it would have to be that.
Yeah.
Highway 6, they call it.
I guess it is an extension, right, of Highway 6. That sounds a lot better.
It's not in Elkhorn. I think it's only south of Dodge, Highway 6. So I don't know what that's called. Highway 31. Yeah, it's called the Battle of Highway 31.
People are saying that Papillion La Vista South and Gretna is actually the battle for 370, but Gretna East kind of just snuck their way in there recently.
Yeah, I take offense to that. But it could be. There were many battles in 370. Yes.
Winner
gets the one that has staked the claim to the name.
Asian Joe says winner gets the Mega High V. Great idea.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if I'm ready to cede control of that. I feel like the Hy-Vee has already been claimed by one of those programs. But, those dragons, they can have it. I used to be a dragon back in the day.
And now you're a griffin.
All
right. All right, Mitch. So what is your confidence level? After we've heard all the quotes from this week. They have been weird over the last couple days in hindsight, coming off of the Minnesota game. What is your confidence level that Nebraska has now, the players have had their attention now, exclusively pointed toward Northwestern in the football game this week? Like, is this a bounce back opportunity for Nebraska, or is this oh boy, this could go sideways fast?
I think it's a perfect bounce back opportunity because of the team that Nebraska is playing, and you get a little bit of a do-over. You don't get do-overs like that. That L is going to be there, and it's going to be ugly, and we're going to be probably talking about it for months, like as a moment in the season, whether it was the moment that Nebraska's season turned in the wrong direction, like the Indiana game last year, or the moment that Nebraska had this terrible blip and they got it back together. It's going to be one of those two things or something in the middle. I think this is the perfect opponent to face next because the Northwestern is going to try to beat Nebraska in the same way that Minnesota did. So that should have their attention. That should definitely have their attention. If you don't, I mean, there's going to be different things in the game plan, of course, different players that you have to pay attention to. Minnesota, it's simplified too much to say it's just the same team. It's not, but they do some things better than Minnesota, I think, a lot of things. But you're back home. Like, energy shouldn't be a problem. Focus should not be a problem this week. I don't think that when you get to the heart of what it was that plagued Nebraska going into Friday night, I don't think those things are going to be on the stage and applicable to this week.
What have you made of sort of the quotes now in retrospect? Like, do you I mean, they seem to all be saying like similar things. So I guess that could be a good thing, but odd that Minnesota seemingly did not have Nebraska's full attention last week.
Yeah, I mean, once Matt Rule said it, I think if the media opportunities were in reverse and you had the head coach on Tuesday with the players on Monday and the coordinators, and I don't think the answers would have come out the same from the players. I don't think you would have heard this stuff about they were too relaxed and they, you could see it in like Luke Lindenmeyer said that he could see a little bit of it in the week leading up to the game. So I think they were falling in line. It isn't that they didn't believe those things. I think they did, but they're not always things that you just admit. Once Rule had already said it, then the players they felt more comfortable falling in line and saying, yeah, coach is right. Like, they didn't have our full attention for whatever reason that is, and that's not good. So that's kind of why Nebraska, I think, structures this the way that it does, where the head coach has his day to go and give his explanation, and the players, they don't always have to listen and watch. But this week was a good time to do that. It was probably a good idea that Dana Holgerson and John Butler and Dylan Raiola and others watched or at least read the transcript of what Matt Rule had to say on Monday. You want to appear unified. You don't want to get like different answers from different individuals about why something went poorly. That probably matters a little bit for just the feeling around the team and like their ability to rebound quickly.
What do you think from a football perspective now, Mitch? What do you think the right path is for Nebraska offensively for an identity that they seemingly have not quite found yet?
Committing to the run. I mean, it's as simple as that. We saw them do it. At Maryland. If this thing just kind of wavers and doesn't ever fully get fixed, and let's say Nebraska gets to the bowl game and it's 8-4, which would be a nice season, but not like a spectacular season by any means. And that's going to require them to go 3-2 the rest of the way. So good finish from here. I think they'll be, and the offense doesn't ever gain this focused identity. But I think that they were, and assuming that everyone is back, and everyone as far as who has eligibility and time on their contracts are back in players and coaches in 2026. I think there'll be a push and conversation outwardly and inwardly to refocus the identity of the offense. I don't believe that Nebraska could go air raid and succeed in the Big Ten. I really don't. And that's Dana's strength. Obviously, it's his history, but that conversation is going to come up about what do you do? How do you beef up the O-line? And I think that's what it is. I think they have to, these next 6 weeks, 5 games, and then moving ahead into next season, they have, again, there's some variables there, but they have to find a way. It's the Big Ten to be strong at the line of scrimmage. And offensively, that means hitting the transfer portal to find linemen. They did it last year and they found 2 starters at Notre Dame and Alabama. And amazingly, that hasn't been enough.
Yeah. Mitch Sherman from The Athletic. Mitch, I want to let you go on this. We were just talking about it. The conversation has certainly died down about Matt Rule to Penn State this week. So this is the question that we sort of bounced off of our listeners. Is there a certain point that could potentially come this season where he's not a candidate for that job? Or I guess, what are we looking at over the next couple of weeks as it pertains to Matt Rule and Penn State?
Yeah, we just don't know what Pat Kraft is thinking. And there may be no threshold that Matt Rule could cross as far as having a crash and burn kind of 2025 season that would convince Pat Kraft of something different than what he already thinks. And if he already thinks that Matt Rule's the guy based on his decade plus of head coaching experience, then 4 or 5 games aren't going to change that. But the more that Nebraska struggles, then the more difficult it is for him to sell it to the Penn State administration and the Penn State fans and donors. The more that Nebraska succeeds, if Nebraska beats USC next Saturday night, like, oh, there you go. Publicly, it's all going to be trending up again. I really don't think that any of that affects Pat Kraft's mindset. It very well might affect the mindsets. It would, of the people that he needs on board with him. And then there's also the very real possibility that Matt Rule does not want that job, or would decide in the end after giving it a lot of thought that he doesn't want that job. That has to be considered, I think, as an option here. It's not all in the hands of Kraft. There are 2 things. Does he want to hire Matt Rule? Okay. If the answer is yes, does Matt Rule want to take the job? Because that's not always been, I'll say this until he's gone, and even after that point, unless he corrects me, that's not always been his dream to go and be the coach at his alma mater.
Yeah. Mitch Sherman from The Athletic. All right, Mitch, great stuff as always, and we'll talk to you soon.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Mitch Sherman from The Athletic. Yeah, totally. I mean, it's a great point that we have to remember. Like, just because, we asked the question, is Rule going to be a candidate at Penn State? Not, is he going to take the Penn State job? That's a different question. That's a second question after you pass through the first question. First question is he going to be a candidate? Is he a viable candidate? Will they go after him? And then the question is, if they do, what will he do? And I don't believe that's a slam dunk either, like Mitch just said. So yeah, there's a lot of hoops that you'd have to jump through, of course. All right, still opinions coming in at Happer Show or the text line or on YouTube. Get those in. Let's take a quick pit stop over at the Odd News when we return on 1620 The Zone.
Upon further review, the host point is good.
The Connor Happer Show returns in minutes on 1620 The Zone. And now we've reached the point in the show where Josh Odson reads the peculiar, the bizarre, the comical, the odd news with Odd Son. Odd news, Odd Son. See what we did there? The odd news with Oddson.
Josh, we owe it to be consistent on this show.
We do.
So I don't know. I think I've been consistent on this rule thing the entire time, but I don't know. Maybe I haven't.
You've been a no boy.
I don't think he's going to go.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't think he's going to go. But I've also always thought that he was a candidate. There was a lot of people at the start who were like, well, just the immediate like shutdown of it. Like, not going to happen.
Right.
I'm like, I don't know, man. Like, he seems like a pretty interesting candidate to me. If I'm Penn State, if I'm putting
seems
myself
like one of your first calls.
if I'm putting myself in the shoes of Pat Kraft and Penn State, like, he seems like a pretty interesting candidate to me for a variety of different reasons, not just because he went there. And because of that, I think you have to be aware of the possibility that they might come. Then he, of course, has to take it.
We coming.
Yeah. Then he, of course, has to engage in that conversation. Would he engage in that conversation? I don't know.
Julie's got a dry bar.
I think one of the things I said at the beginning was like, my guess would be that he listens. Mama came calling.
You'd be a fool not to.
You know,
you
but,
take the meeting.
Of course, but does he take it ultimately? I guess I don't think so, but I can't be sure of that. So I don't know.
Time will tell.
I don't know. I think I've been pretty consistent on that.
I don't listen to the show. Not my cup of tea.
Other people do, Josh. And then you get a bunch of texts. And they're like, hey, wait a minute. And I'm like, hey, wait a minute, what? All right, the opinions are coming up in just a couple minutes. But yes, the odd news first.
I want to do something I have not done in all of my many, many years of broadcasting. Good job, Russell Wilson.
What did he do?
He clapped back.
Oh, we love when people clap back.
That's right.
How about you just shut up?
Normally, I'd agree with you, but Sean Payton took a shot at him out of nowhere, so he took a shot at Sean Payton out of nowhere.
Sean Payton do be doing that.
The Giants quarterback, that's probably your texter right now.
It probably
who
is.
was recently benched in favor of rookie Jackson Dart, took to social media to respond to a comment made by Denver Broncos head coach Sean Payton.
Do we just put this caller through?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Keep going.
Okay.
Do the story, and then we'll take a quick pit stop.
They found a little spark with that quarterback, Payton said of Dart. I was talking to John Mara not too long ago, and I said we were hoping that the change would have happened long after our game. The Broncos head coach said, taking a thinly veiled shot at Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson responded yesterday on social media, classless, but not surprised. Didn't realize you're still bounty hunting 15 plus years later through
Breaking
the media.
news. The two worst people you know just made horrible points.
That's right. That's right. But I like that they're doing it because, mix it up. Why the hell not? I hate you both.
It's fun to look at, I guess. Let's go to the Prairie Flower Casino Zone hotline. Here is
oh,
buddy. Maybe that wasn't what we thought it was.
No, maybe not.
All right, continue on.
Truck spill of the week. We go to California
Oh,
way.
wine.
Close. This happened in the Fresno area. It is a food. It is a food I've made fun of you for eating and buying. Spilled all over the roadway.
Oh, blueberries?
That's right, Connor.
You think rich people buy blueberries?
This is why they're so expensive. California Highway Patrol Fresno said that the blueberry spill occurred Monday evening in the southbound lanes of Highway 99 near the eastbound Highway 180 interchange. Are you familiar with these points?
Absolutely not.
California boy. Photos of the road had people laughing, causing a big sticky purple mess, and the California Highway Patrol cleaned it up. You want to go to the phone again?
Let's go to the phone. Okay. Let's see what's going on. Hello, caller.
Yeah. Hey, this is Brian. How are you?
Hey, Brian. Good.
Hey, wrestling spoke to the media today.
Huh?
Brian, you're on the air. In case you didn't know.
Okay. I didn't know what he was talking about. Why do you guys? I have a question. Why do you guys seem so sure that that Rule's not going to take that job? I mean, that's all you hear is Rule. Sounds like there's a lot of smoke that he is.
Let's be
but
crystal clear about
maybe
this.
I don't know something.
Okay. Thank you for the call, Brian. I can definitely address that.
Address the allegations, Happer.
I am not sure about anything. So if you want to call me or text me and say, you said 100% this and 100% this, in some cases, those are the opposite things. I didn't say either of those things.
Or you've said everything.
I am not 100% on anything ever, actually. It's a constant evaluation. So to answer your question, Brian, I am not sure about what was his question about him taking the job?
Because there's a lot of smoke.
No, I am not sure about that. In fact, I would say that he would be, if the point of likelihood is 50%, I would be under the point of likelihood that ends up happening. Under that.
Maybe that's my fault when I called you a no boy earlier.
No boy. All right, we're gonna bang the last odd news story for this.
Wow. Oh, okay.
Sorry.
No, please.
Tennessee baseball coach Tony Vitello is finalizing a deal to become the next manager of the San Francisco Giants.
It didn't work.
Tony Vitello, 47, will be the first ever to jump from college coach to MLB manager without any professional experience. That is from both Jeff Passan and Pete Tweets.
So, did we talk about this on air or off air? This doesn't happen.
Yeah, it's very odd.
Apparently, it's never happened
Dude,
like this.
Buster Posey, you crazy, but I like it. That is another good window into the hiring process these days. It always used to be like, oh, well, he hasn't won this, and he's not, you take these ladders and you take these steps to get to these places. Baseball people are hiring people from the internet. I'm serious.
Yes.
These people work in baseball organizations now. And that's a good practice, by the way. Find the best people that fit your deal, that fit your situation, and hire them, regardless of the optics, regardless of they've won and what they do, like all those things. So I have no idea if it'll work. I don't know if it's a good move for him, but it's very likely an opportunity that he just couldn't pass up,
Brad Pitt.
Are you pointing at me like
Buster Posey snapped his fingers?
He gets on base,
and someone else said he wins games.
He wins games.
I don't know. He's never won games here. He wins games.
He wins games. Alex and Lincoln, great
Hi,
idea.
Alex.
Happer for Royals manager. It could work. It could work. It could work. It could work. And we need people who could work.
You can work.
All right. That's the odd news plus Tony Vitello.
Platt Cat, worst case, he fails and every college in America is offering him a job. Kind of a win-win for Tony.
Excellent point.
Yeah.
Excellent point.
You go, you try it. If it works, great. If not, I'll build this thing back up. Don't worry.
It's time for I Have an Opinion. You all have them, and we'd like to hear them.
We would.
402-951-1620. We prefer that you text that number for this segment, or you could tweet at us, or you could email us, or you could leave a comment. Back after this on 1620 The Zone.
This is the I Have an Opinion song. Haven't done an intro yet. Need to get on that.
Yeah. We need this. It's time to have opinions. It's time for you to have opinions. It's time for me to read them. Josh to read them as well.
Yeah, we'll read them.
Josh, do you have anything? Do you have anything that we, from anywhere else? You always read a couple first, and then,
Sure, yeah.
and then I get to
got
the text
some.
line.
I'm
All right,
ready.
what do we got?
I'm
What do we
prepared.
got?
Star Wars Fiend on the YouTube chat.
Hello, Star Wars Fiend.
I have an opinion. Baby Ruth, highly underrated Halloween candy, followed by a good nut roll.
I can't really speak to the prowess of Baby Ruth. I don't not enjoy them.
It's good
but
candy.
I'm not usually a chocolate candy guy for Halloween. I'm more of like a sweet. Like
That's right. You're a
candy,
sweet,
candy.
sour,
Yeah.
candy.
Candy. Give me the candy. So, but yeah, if it's in the pile, it won't be the last thing left. I'll tell you that. It's one of the last things left, but not the last.
Okay. Charles in the YouTube chat.
Hi, Charles.
I have an opinion. Halloween is the perfect time for parents to teach their kids about taxation. I know that you brought in this huge candy haul, Johnny, but before you enjoy that, hand over 22%.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Good choice.
I wouldn't tax that high, but yeah, you're absolutely correct.
Yeah, all the parents need is like 10,
Mm-hmm.
10%. Just kind of whatever they want. I'm in this real cool spot right now with my child. We give her some real food.
Mhm.
And so we just, make dinner, the normal amount of dinner, like I would for both of us.
Right.
And me and my wife. And then we just like lop off a little piece and basically give it to her.
Mm-hmm.
But she doesn't eat even all that because she's tiny. And so then I just get to go back in and steal the food off her plate. And
Garbage
my life,
disposal dad.
yeah, my life isn't changed at all.
Right. It's a pretty good spot.
Except for the fact that she exists, right? Yeah, but yeah, it's kind of nice. It's kind of tax in a way.
Travis on the YouTube stream.
Hi, Travis.
I have an opinion. Chick-fil-A should not be allowed to advertise on Sundays if they're not open on Sundays.
Yeah, it's really a sneaky great marketing deal because you start wanting it really. I can't tell you
always
how
want it on
many
Sunday.
times I've wanted it on Sunday. And that thought has to subconsciously drag throughout the remainder of the week. And there's like an era of exclusivity to it where you can only have it 6 out of the 7 days. So I better get it on one of these 6 days. Like it gives you a little bit more urgency, a little bit of the kick in the butt you need, because there's just going to be one less day in the week. It's 52 less days a year where you can't get Chick-fil-A. Plus like Christmas and Thanksgiving. And I mean, it's like 60 days a year where you can't get Chick-fil-A. Exclusivity, baby. It works.
Definitely.
Sign up for 1620 the email.
Oh, nice.
It's
segue.
very cool.
Now, I was doing a thing where I kind of was skipping over the Husker opinions because I just kind of want to break.
Husker hater Josh.
No. If we want to go back to him at the end of the segment, we can. But this one from SEAL Team Nick kind of stirs the pot a little bit.
All right.
I have an opinion. Hoping a team will win 7 to 9 games and then getting unreasonably mad that they're not undefeated after 7 games is a sign of mental instability.
Interesting.
There's a truth in there somewhere, baked in there.
Look, let me level with people here, because while I generally agree with that sentiment, how many times have you heard it this week? It's not how they lost. It's not that they lost. It's how they lost. It is absolutely how they lost.
Right.
It was a bit shocking, But if you will end up getting less pissed if you just say, "Oh well, they lost." If you do it in a more binary win-loss way, which I know that's not how it works around here because we have to have it happen in a very specific way. But if you just if you zoom out a little bit and say, hey, they played 7 games and they won 5 of them, and we only thought that they were going to win, 75% of their games this year anyway. They were going to go 8-4. They're going to win 75% of the games. I think they're actually still on a pretty good track. They're above that in a winning percentage right now.
Yeah, they are.
But I get it. So I get it, but I don't, at the same time. But the thing that is weirded me out this week is how everybody just thinks they're going to go 6-6 now or 5-7.
they've become everything I make fun of.
If you
like, I was
were-
exaggerating when I do well, we'll never win another game again.
If you were a 6-6, 5-7 guy before the year, then that's fine. Then you are. But if you were ready to roll, and then they started off 5-2, and now you think they're going to go 6-6 or 5-7 and not going to win a game the rest of the year, like, I don't know what's wrong with you. You can't have that wild of pendulum swings. They had a stinker. Okay, I think it'll get better, in my opinion.
Now, if it doesn't,
then we got a problem.
Then we got some things to talk about Monday.
Indeed we do.
Remember when you said Jeff Sims wouldn't turn the ball over, Connor? There, I did it for you, audience. Are you happy?
Thank you.
This is the one, Connor. Are you ready? From Sipple's Lost T-shirt.
Oh, yeah, good.
Or do you want to end on this?
This is good.
Okay. I have an opinion. It should be illegal for entire families to go to the grocery store. The last thing I need is to wait behind mom and dad fretting over which rice to buy while their 3 teenagers post on their MySpace and scroll TikTok looking for dumb, cool moves.
Yeah. The less crowded the grocery store, the better.
Mm-hmm. Now,
you got to get in and get out. But
yes.
I understand you just can't help it, right? You don't, you have to. You have to level with the parents a little bit, okay? Because it's Saturday, you're at the grocery store, you can't leave the kids at home. You're not going to call somebody to come over and watch the kids. You're not going to drop them off somewhere. Right. It is your best use of time in that case to just take them to the store with you. But it does cause a bit of a hindrance to literally everyone else.
Now, I went to the grocery store this morning, and while there were not a lot of people there, the people that were there
were 80 years old.
80 years old, very slow, and
although
they had
slow
a wide
behind the wheel can still serve a purpose.
These people could not. My gosh, I just wanted a bagel, and boy, let me tell you, the donuts at Hy-Vee have never been more confusing to society than they were this morning.
Yeah.
Oh, what do you want? Do you want the glaze shaped in a circle, or do you want the glaze shaped in an oval? I don't know, Betsy. What do you think? Oh my gosh, they got a chocolate one over here. Get your donut and get the hell out of the window, okay?
I love old people. Okay? We love them all. And it's good that they all go to the grocery store at the same time when the rest of the American public is at work. It's a good thing. Maybe that's what we
generally
need.
Yes.
Maybe that's what we need at grocery stores. We need
bring back
family time.
The COVID senior time.
Well, it kind of kept going. It kind of is still like that. The grocery store people, they literally will bring a bus full of people who stay in a nursing home to the store at 8 o'clock in the morning, and then just go for an hour and be back at 9, or whatever it is.
That's
that happens.
Their outing for the day.
But maybe we need families only time, or there's times where you go to the grocery stores where it's just singles, not if you're single, but just one person at a time gets let in.
Oh,
you can't come with other people.
Okay.
If I could do that at 4 o'clock in the afternoon when I'm coming home from work, just to grab one thing at the grocery store, that would be sick. That'd be awesome. That'd be awesome. But yeah, maybe there's a grocery store idea in there, specific times for specific shoppers, types of people.
Something needs to be done.
Something needs to be done.
It's bad. And also,
it's bad.
Also, if you run a grocery store, if you work at a grocery store, this is going to make me sound like I'm 100 years old and I don't care. Back in my day, they stocked the shelves overnight, not while I'm trying to get through the grocery store.
100, Josh. Facts.
Okay.
You're spitting right now.
If the Pepsi guy comes and he's got a stack of 12 pack, okay, let him put those on the shelves. But you got the guy from the milk department bringing the forklift out there onto the floor at 9 a.m. There aren't a million people in your store right now. God, that felt great to get off my chest. I'm sorry.
Josh,
It's a very specific beef, but it's mine.
You're killing it. Maybe they'll fix things in our studio when we're not doing our show one day.
They will never not fix something during the Connor Happer show.
All right, let's go to the text line here. We got a bunch.
John is correct. I am easily inconvenienced.
100%. Of course. We're all very on edge around here. From the 402.
Hi, 402.
I have an opinion. Round ball rock should be used only on the round ball rock intro for the Connor Happer show should only be used on Jay's game days. And since they have so many Saturday games, it can be played the Friday before. What do we think? It's a Jay's round ball rock. But what about Nebraska ball? What about Nebraska ball,
What about
Josh?
Nebraska ball?
Do we do round ball rock for Nebraska ball game day, and then it's just 3 out of the 5 days of the week every week?
Well, they need to win. I don't want this song associated with anything sad. It's a happy song.
It's already associated with the NBA.
Now, now, I'm hearing they're going to score more points this year, so there certainly won't be any 89 to 59 games.
Certainly, you can bank that one. No, you can't.
Won't go to Penn State and score 37 points or something.
You know what I thought about last night? I thought about Jay's Live.
Jay's Live.
I'm so ready to
coming to a chai near you.
I'm so ready to host Jay's Live on Saturday night. I'm so
That's
ready.
right.
My body is ready.
What do you know what you're doing?
Yeah, I got some things we're going to talk about, but
Okay.
I got to work on like my
you
scene setter.
You
my
get a little
open.
more elbow room because it's an exhibition.
No, I got my nice little nook up there.
Okay.
Up top.
I didn't know if it says 3 minutes on the sheet, but you got 3:15, 3:20, whatever.
So there was a game last year where they shut the lights out on me, and I was like, I better get out of here.
They gave you
the
the light.
Jays are coming out of the tunnel. The Budweiser song is about to play, and I got to get out.
Don't talk over Budweiser.
I would never. Greg in Myrtle Beach.
Hello, Greg.
I have an opinion. Middle school rule already has 3 Vince Lombardi and other real coach quotes if Northwestern punks us. Thank you, Greg in Myrtle Beach.
I love the concept of you cannot use quotes from championship coaches if you are not yourself a championship coach.
As a Northwestern.
That's a good one.
Pretty good. Here's Michael.
Hi, Michael.
I have some opinions. I think sports cards are stupid. I had a buddy tell me he spent $500 on a card, and I told him he's an idiot. He paid $500 for a picture of a dude on a piece of paper that he will stare at.
Then can resell for more than
it's a currency, right?
Yeah.
With that being said, I actually agree with him. I am not into this whole sports cards thing. I don't know what that makes me, but I think it's stupid.
I find it interesting, but I am not into it. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I guess.
Really? You did that was worth that? You did that? You researched that? You held on to that? You knew when to go and when to stay and all that? I find that interesting, but I'm not going to do it. I don't want to do it.
I actually don't have much interest in it, so I can't even see eye to eye with you on that one.
Okay.
Also, his second opinion is Wu-Tang is the best rap group ever.
Wu-Tang Clan ain't nothing to bleep with.
That's exactly what he said in this text.
It's for the children.
I have heard this. Here's the squirrel.
Hi, the squirrel.
I have an opinion. Airlines should shell out $75 to Home Depot for a simple Ring camera, that they can install outside of the cockpit to see who might be at the doors, rather than making an emergency panic landing and looking like a fool. Yeah, that might be a worthwhile investment. Ever heard of a peephole? Yeah, they used to have peepholes on the cockpit. Do they not have those anymore?
Yeah, they used to have that little window.
God, I remember when I
Like
was
a boat.
kid before 9/11, I would go up to the front of the plane, and the captains would be like, "Come on in, do whatever you want. Go ahead, press that button. I don't care."
I constantly want to talk to the pilot on these chartered flights and ask, "Hey, do you have any wings? I'd like to have some wings for my kid."
Yeah,
I'm scared to go up there.
I know. I just say thank you and I move on with my day.
They're the nicest people in the world, but I'm scared to go up there and be like, "Hey, it's for my kid."
Don't go up there, Josh.
I'm not.
Do not congregate.
I'm not casing the joint.
On my flights last week, I went up to the front because I didn't know I wanted to go to the bathroom, and I didn't know somebody was in there. I guess I forgot to look at the light, or I didn't know how the light worked, or whatever it was. And I went up. I got halfway up to the front of the plane, and the guy's like, "Turn around, somebody's in there." And I'm like, what am I supposed to do? And then the other one's taken. I'm just going to sit here in the aisle.
Yeah.
Somewhere over.
And then
somewhere over Utah.
You got to pick the front or the back bathroom.
It's just tough.
Mm-hmm.
Damn 9/11 screwed us in many ways. Tom in Cincinnati.
Thanks, Bin Laden. Hi, Tom.
I have an opinion. The word entitlement should apply to some Nebraska fans more so than the actual team. People expect immediate turnarounds of programs, but there are only so many Urban Meyers or Kurt Signettis to go around. There are other very capable coaches that could turn around programs. They just need a little bit more time to do it. In fact, Tom Osborne comes to mind. Rule is still the guy, and I will take 2 steps forward, 1 step back kind of progress over no progress at all. Also, Rebecca Alec needs to stop by the offensive line meeting and teach blocking. Hello, I'm Rebecca Alec. Would you like to learn how to block? That would be a fun meeting to go to.
It would.
Different kind of blocking, but
I would pay for it.
Yeah. Here is Denny.
Hi, Denny.
I have an opinion. If Rule is offered the job, he will take it. That's your opinion.
He's a yes boy.
Like I've said before, I don't know if he would.
You're an I don't know boy.
I'd lean no. Old man Doug.
Hi, OMD.
I have an opinion. Ketchup only on a brat is just fine. Yeah, but Doug, don't you want an excellent brat experience?
Oh, here's a question about your travels.
Yeah.
Tell me about this burger dog.
Thank you so much for asking. All right, so go to this nice golf course, and they played a PGA Tour event there like the previous week or whatever. Really, really nice spot. Way above my means. I'm not rich. I don't belong here. Okay?
I don't put it on the internet. You're going to wine country.
Do not put it on the internet that I am rich. This is way above my means. I will literally never go back here. This is a once in a lifetime thing. So we got up to the golf course, and the starter is like, all right, you've never been here before. Clearly. Here's what you got to do. You go and you're rolling down the 9th fairway, and the thing will pop up on your cart, and it will say, call right now to order your burger dogs. And I said, my next natural question as a great journalist is, what are you talking about? What is a burger dog? And he said, well, it might sound underwhelming, but it is a hot dog shaped hamburger. It's just a long hamburger.
Long hamburger, yeah.
And he said, I was like, oh, that doesn't sound that impressive. And it wasn't, for the record. But he's like, get the grilled onions, call him and tell him you want the grilled onions, and then do mustard and relish. And I said, okay. And we did it. And it's unique because it's this nice ritzy course and nice ritzy. It's literally a resort, but at the turns of these places, basically, it's 2 18-hole courses. And in the middle of these courses, these little shacks, and they serve burger dogs, which is not very nice and ritzy or anything like that. But
we're slumming it. Look at us.
People come from far and wide to get the burger dog.
Now,
I went out the next day and got a burger dog, and I didn't even play golf.
Oh, hello. Okay.
It was awesome.
So did they say why they cook them in that shape?
I asked
origin story.
Yeah, I asked for that, and they were like, "Yeah, I've just been doing it forever."
Okay.
The guy at the first hut was like, "So are you like Mr. Burger Dog, or like what's it? Did you invent this?" And he was like, "No, my parents did. I'm just trying to keep this." He said a cuss word in there. He's like, "I'm just trying to You look at it's a resort. It's all these great people. There's nice. Everything is very clean, pristine." And there's the guy who's sweating his ass off back in the burger dog place. He's like, I'm just trying not to die in here, and stuff like that. It was totally cool. It was very, very odd. Right. I belonged in the burger dog hut.
Okay.
And I did get the grilled onions, and I did get the mustard and the relish. It was a different kind of relish. It wasn't like a green relish. It was good.
I don't know why. The shape just it looked delicious.
It was normal. It wasn't anything special, but it was very important after 9 holes of playing golf. Let's see. I have an opinion. The morning crossover is the best segment on 1620, and the afternoon crossover is the second best. And the haters and losers on the YouTube chat, namely John Jacob, Jingleheimer Schmidt, are wrong. That's from Eric in Milwaukee.
Milwaukee.
Yeah.
Milwaukee loves the crossover.
Milwaukee loves the crossovers.
Wow. It's amazing that if you piece together everywhere people listen to us, it would span the globe.
It's everywhere, baby.
Yeah. It's not just like, oh, okay, there's a pocket of people who moved to Florida and listen to your show. Nope, it's Milwaukee, it's Taiwan, it's Portugal, it's Myrtle Beach, California,
Milwaukee.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I agree. I love the crossovers, and I'm very blessed to be a part of them every day. I feel sincerely very lucky to touch both shows.
You get a little FOMO.
It's great.
Yeah.
Like the morning show and the afternoon show don't talk to each other ever.
Mm-hmm. Ever.
Unless we're all at a round table or something.
And then you put them on a big red overreaction together, and everybody's like, whoa, oh my gosh, Josh and Matt, Gary and John. Oh my God, I never thought of that as a possibility.
Here's Jed.
Hi, Jed.
I have an opinion. Minivans are actually cool. Functionality is way cooler than looking cool.
Yeah.
I agree with you completely, Jed.
All right, Mark Wahlberg, calm down.
I love functionality.
I mean, yeah, I'm not loading my kids up in like a Porsche or something like that.
Yeah.
But
I have a mid-size SUV.
Uh-huh.
It does the trick. It's no minivan, as far as like the space is concerned. But yeah, I agree with the sentiment.
I do remember I saw back in the day there used to be a commercial for, I believe it was like a Honda Odyssey or something like that. Maybe no, because that's not a minivan. Whatever. It was a minivan and it had a vacuum in it. It had like a shop vac little mini attachment in it, and I was like, "That's a great idea." I don't even have kids. I can see that that's a great idea, and I want that.
I built it in. Yeah. You know, I don't have to pull my vacuum every time. All right, Pedro's got a couple.
Hi, Pedro.
Hi, guys. Why can't Nebraska get Bad Bunny as the headliner?
Well,
for the concert,
Lincoln is firmly in America, and Bad Bunny does not play shows in America except for one.
Except the biggest thing ever. Hi, guys. I have an opinion. I would not hire a head football coach if he was caught using an umbrella on the sidelines or walking to and from the bus. My coach has to be dripping wet in a rain game.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. Great take. Who was that? Was that Pedro?
Yeah. He can have a rain jacket, but no umbrellas.
No.
Absolutely. My coach would never have an umbrella. And hi, guys. I have another opinion. Bud Crawford should fight in Omaha at the home of the College World Series.
Feels like, why do that when you could do Memorial Stadium?
Because the College World Series is cooler. And it's more Omaha. It's Omaha.
It is more Omaha.
It's from Omaha. Yeah. Seems like there's going to be a little bit more demand for the 25,000, you know, that can hold. Bill.
Hi, Bill. Bill Shammer.
Well, I don't know.
Okay.
I have an opinion. As an avid listener on the stream, I am firmly convinced that the "We Need More Ice Cream Trucks" lady from United Way ad is married to the "Do You Know Where My Phone Is" guy from the lottery ad, as they're the two biggest idiots in the world. Bill.
All right.
I don't know what Bill's talking about.
I don't either. It's time I come clean as the director of audio.
Josh has no idea what happens.
I don't know how those commercials get there. I don't know how to change them. I don't know anything about it. I would if I could. I don't know how.
Way to go, Josh. Way to be the boss.
I've had no training, and it shows.
From the 402.
Hi, 402.
I have an opinion. Nebraska should have Grant Wistrom's daughter kick field goals for us. We need a new gimmick.
Did you see that video yesterday?
I did. And
we were just talking about her. Did you know that this video was coming?
I didn't actually, because Nick asked us how to pronounce Grant Wistrom, and I was like, Grant Wistrom, not Windstrom. And I said, yeah, Grant Wistrom's daughter is on the soccer team, and so is Joel Makovica's. Or I said, I don't know if it's Joel's daughter, but they have a Makovica and a Wistrom, Ava and Wistrom, Charlie, I believe. Yeah, Charlie. On the soccer team at Nebraska, who's pretty good. I've done a couple of their games this year on the PA. Good idea. We need more gimmicks, of course. This is from
maybe Mitch can make her cry.
This is from Jean-Pierre.
Hi, Jean-Pierre.
I have an opinion. If we lose this weekend, we need to have a 1620 the zone protest on top of the abandoned grain silos next to the interstate. We could make ABC News and make real change in the program. Connor could lead the charge and channel his inner Michael Scott by threatening to jump.
Spread the word.
I just watched that episode last night. What's our demand? What's our ask?
I don't know. We just a protest.
Be better.
That's what protests are, right? They don't know what they want. They're just protesting.
Yeah.
Tommy says, I have an opinion. This is the best segment on 1620 The Zone.
Thank you, Tommy.
Better than the crossovers?
Better than Grunt the Slate? Have you heard Grunt the Slate?
Interesting. And then John said, don't forget about the email opinions. So here it is. John emails in. I have an opinion saying that you changed the way you were calling the defense and got too conservative, scared, is every bit as bad as you saying you had to throw out half of your game plan because the other team didn't do exactly what you expected them to. What a clown show.
Okay.
Yeah, that was awfully revealing yesterday from Johnny Butler.
I got some questions there. One touchdown run for 70 some yards
just changed everything.
Shook you to your very core.
Yeah.
You got to flush it, man. You're telling those kids to flush it.
Yeah. Not a good look. Somebody had an opinion about John Butler earlier, something about we should not have our coordinator be named Butler because it's like he's like he's supposed to be serving you something. I saw that opinion and then I lost it.
Oh,
it was on here though.
That's an interesting take.
Jeff writes in.
Jeff,
just lean into the bit and only talk. I have an opinion. Just lean into the bit and only talk about Creighton athletics. You'd be like state programming in Russia.
Well, Creighton famously enjoys Russians for purposes of comedy.
Creighton tweets.
Burners.
Creighton burners.
Yeah.
Creighton burners.
Good clarification there.
SEAL Team Nick, I'd have an opinion. I'd rather watch a show where Rebecca Alec is hired as Nebraska's offensive line coach than to watch another episode of Chad Powers.
I haven't got to that yet.
Yeah,
I don't know that I'm going to get to it.
Also, El Scorcho follows up. He says he hates the ice cream truck lady.
I got to dip into the stream
I gotta
sometime.
check this app, man. Let's see what's going on. Go to my car. I just listened on the radio. I love AM radio. Let's see. I think that's probably good. Old Man Doug just sent in another one, but it's about. I think Old Man Doug is turning into a Tiffy. It seems.
Oh no.
He says,
open that today.
He says, I have an opinion. Number 3 can be pulled for bad performance. Why can't number 15 be pulled for bad performance? Tiffy.
Not getting into it today.
Tiffy.
Not doing it.
All right. We'll be back after this on 1620 The Zone. But first, ladies and gentlemen, fast breaks, buzzer beaters, and block parties are back. Underdog is the best place to get in on all the action this hoops season, and you can make picks and win money right now in the state of Nebraska. There is just about a full slate of basketball games tonight. Yes, believe it or not. So if you're not into it, you're like, oh, I can't believe basketball is back. Well, guess what? I'm offering you a way to profit off of this opportunity. Yes, that's right. It's with our friends from Underdog. Higher or lower in stat categories like points, rebounds, steals, and more. Get those picks right. You could win 5,000 times your cash. It's so easy and it's fun while you're at it as well. Make the viewing experience a little bit more enjoyable for yourself. Download the app today and use promo code HAPPER1620 to score $100 in bonus funds or bonus entries when you play your first $5. Promo code HAPPER1620. Underdog, make picks, win money. Must be 19 plus and present in Nebraska. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/play and get terms _DFS_.html for details. Concern with your play. Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org.
He does it the only way he knows how. With his massive sports brain sprinkled with a smidgen of rabble-rousing. Let's get back to the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
I like all you guys, man. I like all the comments about the various things that we do on these shows. And I like how each of you have your own like personalities and like things where one of my goals, this is one of the things that I always tell people when I go to speak to like broadcasting classes, if I do that or whatever. I always say like, because I always ask, how do you prep? That's always the first thing. Like, how much prep do you, wow, how do you talk for 4 hours a day? And I'm like, you'd be surprised. It's really not that hard. And one of the pieces of wisdom that I always try to impart on them is it is my goal, because this is just how I am as a person. It is my goal to be so consistent and so predictable that people are going to know what I'm going to say before I say it. And a lot of you are doing the same thing on the YouTube. I know whose thoughts on Rule are one way or the other, and if we do a Creighton segment, who's going to be coming out of the woodwork to say, ah! Or who's going to say honk, or if we do a non-sports segment at all, who's going to be pissed about it. It's great. I love it. So I just wanted to say that. You guys are funny.
Wow.
You guys are funny.
Thank you, audience.
Good job, guys. Here's Kevin on the Equitable Bank inbox. Little late, I have an opinion, but here is his opinion. There's always a stray or two.
Mm-hmm.
Can we have this is a question. Let me pose it as an opinion. It is my opinion that we should have a tough Husker football team instead of everyone looking pretty and the pretty boy play calling. That's what Kevin says. What do you think about that, Josh?
There's some truth to that. Yeah, I feel it's too pretty of a team at times. Yeah.
I think they seem I thought last week they were just way in their own heads for whatever reason about that game. And yeah. And I do think a couple of their shortcomings are right in the fat part of the field, right? Offensive line and defensive line. And I know, like, to be clear, I share that opinion. I want a rough and tumble team. I want a team that could physically stack up in the trenches against the big dogs of the league, but especially the Minnesotas and the Iowas. But so I agree with you, but that is not going to be changed this season. That's the part that I try to like say the most. I get it. I understand that we're mad about that. I think it's a great offseason conversation to have. How do you build it? What is it going to look like going forward? Are they making the right moves by doing this? Are they making the right moves? Are they setting the team up for success in the Big Ten in the context that we know it because of the moves that they've made? And that's a great conversation to have in the offseason. But once you get into the season, you just kind of have what you have, And that's why the starters, Rule said this the other day, he said the starters are the starters for a reason, right? It's not like if you bench Pritchett or Gatula, like that Tyler Canuck is going to come in and be better, or that Turner Corcoran is going to come in and be better. Like, think about what you're asking for when you're thinking about, oh man, we just need accountability. Like, we need guys they need to bench guys. How they have to sit guys. In some places you have options, and in some places you don't. And in some places you have strengths, and in some places you have weaknesses. And Nebraska is no different than any other college football team in that category. It just so happens that their strengths are quarterback, wide receiver, and running back, skill position players on offense. And on defense, also skill position players. Linebacker, well, one linebacker in particular, and the defensive backs. It just so happens that those are their strengths. And their weaknesses are the big guys who are supposed to be pushing people around in the middle. So you work off of that. It doesn't do you any good to be pissed about it and say, well, I really want to be I want to run for 250 yards a game. Like, they're not. You just have to accept and move on. for now. I'll totally hear all your complaints in the offseason if you don't think they should build it this way. But this is the team that you have. And they have to find a way. And I believe that they have enough pieces, and I think the coach believes that they have enough pieces to win this season. This is not a like a dude's thing, in my opinion. They got enough. They have to better accentuate their strengths and better minimize their weaknesses. It's football.
Great segue to our caller who's on hold right now.
Perfect. Let's go to Walt on the Prairie Flower Casino Zone hotline. Hey, Walt.
What's up, fellas? Hey, number one, I think you guys are the number one show in Omaha. I truly mean that.
We're number
I love
one.
listening to your show. You guys are rocking, man.
Thank you, Walt. Appreciate it.
Hey, something I want to throw your way is I know you just talked about who are the players on defense and offense that I guess I would consider, the dogs of the team, the ones that can rally people, the ones that, they're going to make a play out of no play and lead this team. I think it's very thin there. I think the other issue is if you have all the pieces together, then how come you have, 15, 16, 17 offensive linemen? And even the ones coming in to replace the ones that aren't doing well can't do any better than them. I mean, we talk a lot about player development on the offensive line. I mean, we probably beat this dead horse, 2 or 3 times. Honestly, that's not happening. I think there's more dog on the special teams this year than I do on the offense or even with the defense. And I got to agree with you that, man, those conferences of the defensive coordinator, offensive coordinator, even Matt Rule on Monday, that was horrible.
Tough.
I mean, they looked like they didn't have a pulse of the team before they left. I like what Adam, I think, Carricker mentioned. He goes, I'd like to know how they practiced the week before, not necessarily about the press, but how did they really practice? So I don't know what's going to happen with this team. They act like all the pieces are there. We've been hearing that since the beginning of the year. This is the year it's going to turn around, and we could easily have 3 or 4 losses just as easy as we have some of these wins. So I just want to know what your thoughts are about, who are the dogs on this team that can really rally this team together when it really counts?
Thanks for the call, Walt. Appreciate it.
And thanks again, guys.
Yeah, thanks for the compliment, too. We always love that, and your check is in the mail. So I had an old radio friend of mine who used to say when people complimented him, they would say, "Thanks, Dad." And I always thought that was a great bit. Thanks, Mom. Thanks, Dad. Should steal that one. But to comment on that last part there, as far as practice is concerned, I just think you don't know until you know. Because you're at practice that week and you're going through the motions, and that's what you're trying to guard against, but it looks like any other practice, right? You're trying to get prepared for the game. You're trying to get all the knowledge there, the game plan, all of the scout, all of those things. You're trying to get all that in, and you're in the middle of the season and it's a long season. You're just trying to get there. You're trying to get to Friday.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think it is routinely a bit of a, I don't know. It's using the hindsight a little bit too much, confirmation bias almost, to be yeah, we just, we weren't all the way locked in that week. I believe in that they weren't all the way locked in for the game. I don't, it's damning that was happening still. But I think, you listen to Rule talk about it. He's like, yeah, they practiced fine last week. The practice was fine. And I don't know, I watched Creighton practice a couple times in the preseason here. I didn't necessarily see them beating Iowa State that soundly in that scrimmage.
I heard it was the worst practice in the history of the sport.
One of them that I went to was, according to a coach. Yes. Yeah. And then they beat a top 15 team by 100.
Didn't have the best player
in an exhibition game. I know it's not apples to apples here, but I
also obligatory honk honk.
Sorry. Dogs. Who are the dogs? Or actually, you know what? Let's work backwards. Offensive line, he asked about, is a problem, right? So
absolutely.
But importantly, the key thing that he mentioned, you don't need to have 8, 9, 10 guys who could play, because in my opinion, that's just an unrealistic thing. Nobody has that. Like nobody has 10 great offensive linemen or 10,
okay, sure.
10 offensive linemen that you feel like it could be starting caliber. But you hope is that
if you have 10 O linemen, you have none.
I think that's true. The hope is that you have 5 that you feel like can play and start for you. And then you have like another group of 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 that you feel like are coming and can get there with a little seasoning. I don't know that Nebraska has that level right now. And so that's when you start talking about the coach and you're like, well, the development of this has just not been very good. These guys there's been injuries and stuff like that. They went in the portal to get those offensive linemen. It's, as Mitch said, it's still not enough. You know, it just feels like every year is too much of a reset on the offensive line. And even in that, it's not good enough. So that part's a tough one to swallow, and it needs to be probably talked about in the offseason. And then the dogs. Now, there's a lot of different ways you could put it. What is a dog?
Oh, philosophical question.
What is a dog? That should have been my follow-up to Walt. Walter. Walter, what is a dog? Walter. Is it like because the way he was talking about it is like a leader that could kind of rally people. Sure. Some other people would say that's a dog is someone who like you're like, all right, or is this a horse? You jump on my back and let's go. I'm gonna pull you out of whatever funk you're in right now. Get on my back and let's go. Those are 2 different things, right?
Yes, I believe
the latter
so.
that I just spoke of is like that's your best player, and you need your guys to do that. The dogs are like, I think from a leadership category, going to be doing the dirty work, stuff like that. I think Nebraska has probably not too many standouts in that category right now.
I would agree.
I think Javen Wright's doing a really nice job on defense quietly, you know, and when available. He's been available for most of the games this year outside of one, I guess. I think actually low key, like there's a bunch of guys in the defensive line that are doing their jobs and are doing a nice job in there. Not all of them, but like that's what in my mind, that's kind of what a dog is, right? Like, can you consistently be relied upon to do your job?
Okay.
Can you consistently be relied upon to do your, like, no matter what, hell or high water, they're going to be in the right place and they're going to be, you know, fighting against the person across from them. And yeah, they're trying to find more of those. I think for sure. Because I think at times there's some guys who are trying to do the Superman thing still on defense. Defense, you got to be in the right place at the right time. You know, it's hard because there's the other guy who's trying to be in their right place at their right time, and almost 100% of the time, those 2 ideals conflict. Right, so you have to win.
There's a lot of trust going on out there, right?
Yeah, 100%. You're not always trying to tackle the guy. You're trying to create the right leverage for the next guy to tackle the guy.
Many times they're not tackling. Oh.
That's true. They also need to be able to tackle a little bit better. But yeah, I think to your point, Walt, like they're still looking. They're still looking like across the board. You're always trying to find more. Hopefully that answers the question.
Would like to see somebody with a little more. Now, I think at times they play with fire, but I'd like to see a little more like. You just kind of know it when you see it. Like,
well, it's part of the reason why it was so confounding to hear what Butler said yesterday. You know how they got conservative and all that. Like, you know. Minnesota had a 14-play, 98-yard drive where they didn't see a third down until they got to the 34-yard line on the 12th play, on the 11th play. Nebraska actually successfully got off the field on third down, got it to fourth down, and got off the field then committed a penalty on fourth down. Like, that's the kind of drive where Nebraska couldn't afford to be driven down and take up, 8+ minutes on the clock. They needed to really get after it defensively, force a turnover, knock a ball out, do something really productive, or have them score on them, right? And it's going to be a thing this week, too, against Northwestern. They're going to try and have 100 play drives. They want to play ball control. Nebraska's got to be really aggressive on defense. Knock a ball out, and, take some gambles, I think, on the defensive side. All right, quick timeout. We'll be back around at the hour after this on 1620 The Zone.
He gives you the latest sports news, analysis, and commentary in a clean, concise, and disease-free way.
See there?
What a relief!
Thank
God!
It's the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
Oh, no.
Ah, that's the sound of someone who's misplaced
My debit card.
their debit card.
Where did I leave that thing?
Not at the gas pump, or the checkout counter, or the roof of your car. Now, if he has the Chase mobile app, he can use Card Lock.
Wait, I could just lock my car.
Tennessee has released a statement on the departure of their baseball coach, Tony Vitello.
The Tony man.
Congratulations to Tone, on his incredible opportunity to lead the San Francisco Giants. We wish him the best as he embarks on this new chapter in his career and thank him for everything he's done to transform Tennessee baseball into a championship program. The growth of baseball on Rocky Top has been remarkable, culminating in the 2024 National Championship. We are committed to continuously investing in the program at a championship level across all areas. Furthermore, the upcoming $109 million renovation of Lindsey Nelson Stadium will transform it into one of the premier baseball venues, providing an exceptional experience for fans across, for the best fans in all of sports. Our focus is on our players and coaching staff while finalizing the next steps in this evolving process. So no immediate announcement from Tennessee on we will begin a national search or anything like that. But college baseball lost its face.
Oh, okay.
It's Tupac loving face.
Yes. Giants start the year hosting the Yankees.
Really?
Yes.
Where?
In San Francisco.
Okay, hosting. Okay.
Tennessee is
where's Tennessee
at Globe Life Field.
He can coach Tennessee still for half the season before the Giants open up.
He could. Tennessee plays UCLA, Arizona State, and Virginia Tech opening weekend at the Globo Gym Stadium in Arlington.
Okay. Yeah, interesting times there for college baseball. My gosh, he must have just thought he must have just taken it as like a challenge, just said, nobody thinks this could work. I'm gonna show him it could work because he's not getting paid more, Like he probably went back to Tennessee and was like, "Would you like to pay me $7 million to be your college baseball coach?" And they probably would have been like, "Sure."
Yeah. So
even though that's crazy and insane,
there must still be games for Tennessee baseball to announce.
Yeah, I probably
because there's March 1st is when that opening weekend at Globo Gym ends, and then the next game is March 13th against Georgia.
Yeah, they haven't released their full schedule then yet.
Not a very long non-con season anymore, is it?
You got four weekends usually. Well, no, because the SEC has another weekend.
Yeah,
the SEC has 8 weekends, I believe. Most other conferences have 7.
Big conferences.
Big conference. And you still can't play everybody because there's too many damn teams in all these conferences now. But there you go. There's the official acknowledgement from Tennessee that their baseball coach is headed off to be the manager of the Giants. It's so weird. I am fascinated, though. This will be a very interesting thing. And I've long said that managers actually don't have that much impact on how many games you win. But over a long season, it's hard to imagine his style really it's certainly not assimilating with the rest of Major League Baseball, but I do wonder how his players react, Like this guy is out there yelling. It would be the first time that a Major League Baseball manager yelled and screamed all the time.
But that's what he's known for.
And can he do it for 162 games? 162 games compared to 60. I mean,
do we have any real cranky pants managers anymore? I'm trying to think.
Lloyd McClendon's gone. Lupinella.
I feel like I see Aaron Boone yelling at umpires a lot.
Yeah,
but
that's
that might
because
just be
the Yankees.
Yeah.
Who's our crankiest manager?
Ooh. I don't know. I probably couldn't tell you half the managers in the sport, and I like baseball.
It's not
a lot.
Matt Cortrero. It's not Craig Counsell, at least according to Cubs fans.
No.
He doesn't do anything. Terry Collins is gone. Your ass is in the jackpot. He's gone.
Snit, although he's retiring, didn't move off of the Braves bench for the last 3
That's
seasons.
everyone's complaint. It's funny. That's everyone's complaint about their managers. Like, this guy doesn't talk.
He doesn't do anything. He doesn't move.
The Giants just hired the greatest mover of all time.
Yeah.
He's always walking around in
Many people in the chat are like, this is not going to work.
I don't know. Buster Posey, new GM of the San Francisco Giants. He might have something up his sleeve there.
Shaking it up.
I don't know what to think.
Can you get some people to play there? Because you got to play the Dodgers and the Padres all the damn time.
Hey, and there's
but you get to play the Rockies.
There's a college baseball thing here. Like, I don't know what they're gonna do. Like, do they go out and try and flex their muscle and say, yeah, we're one of the biggest and baddest programs in the country, and we got this facility coming, and we're gonna steal enter name of famous coach here from a already famous program? Or do they kind of keep on keeping on with what they're doing? Like, what changes at the top of the sport? It's like when Saban left,
Yeah.
He's not Saban, but let's just make the comparison. Top of the game, whatever. There was that whole line of things that it affected when Saban left, with the board moving up and Jed Fish moving up and blah, and this and this and this.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That's going to happen with this. It's a great job. It's a great place to be. Excellent talent. Chance to win a national championship right away. Somebody's going to take it. That's just where does Tennessee want to go with it? Fascinating. Get out the wheel, Josh.
Ooh.
It's time to get out the wheel.
All right. First name, Lou Piniella.
Lou Piniella for head coach of the Tennessee Volunteers?
That's right.
Exciting.
He's cranky.
Is Lou still with us?
I think so. I sure hope so. Hey, there's another eye snuck in there. 82 years young, Lou Piniella.
All right. Get him back.
You don't see him much on the broadcasts.
No. I only can assume he got even crankier in his old age.
What do you think he thinks of the pitch clock? And universal DH and things like that.
All right, we'll be back. Big Ten Power Rankings with Tears. It's coming up after this on 1620 The Zone. But first, I do want to remind you that Woodcliff Restaurant is our Zone deal this week. 2 $25 gift vouchers, which is the $50 value for just $25 on sale Friday at 9/1620thezone.com. Also, you can listen to John and Josh this week for your chance to win it for $0. Once again, the Woodcliff Restaurant on sale Friday at 9/1620thezone.com.
Let's get back to the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
Welcome back on a Wednesday on this glorious fall afternoon where much more of Omaha now is aware of the fact that Brian Windhorst lives amongst us.
That's good. Get the word out.
Thank you, KTV. Yeah, I'm sure that's what he wants. Like, do you think NBA people would bar him if he found out that he lives in Omaha?
I do sort of wonder.
Like he kind of loses some street cred.
When are you going to move to a real city, Windy?
But it's a great deal for Omaha because Matt Rule could use this for recruiting. Same with Mac and any other coach around here. They could use it in recruiting and say, Brian Windhorst lives here. He has to go to the coast literally all the time.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and he chose Omaha This isn't the reason why he chose Omaha.
They don't
He
need to
didn't-
know that.
He
They're
didn't
kids.
choose
They're
Omaha,
stupid.
but he could say he chose Omaha because it is equally close to both of the coasts.
Does Wendy's wife have a dry bar?
That's a great question.
She's got a dry bar. I can't move.
Brian Windhorst going to ask some questions, just like, yeah, I don't know. My wife decides where we live, and it's actually
the
true.
truth.
It's actually the truth. I saw Windy at I think I've seen him at Hy-Vee a couple times. I definitely saw him at Pitch getting a takeout pizza during COVID. No reaction to that, Josh?
I've heard the story before.
You've heard that many times. Yep. So if you see a Windy sighting, just know he's one of us. He's one of us. Big Ten Power Rankings with tiers. We have 4 tiers. There has been yet again another shakeup. Things keep happening.
How far did the Huskers fall?
How far did the Huskers fall? We'll tell you. Nobody really wants this top spot.
It's there. You can have it. Just take it.
Not the top of the top. There's a 3-way battle for that. There's really a 2-way battle for that. But nobody wants that next one. It's basically the 4th spot in the Big Ten. Nobody wants it. So we'll find out who occupies that spot this week. Tier number 1. Are these the best 3 teams in America?
Oh, in the Big Ten?
These are the top 3 teams in the Big Ten, undoubtedly. But are those 3 teams the best teams in the country?
Oh, okay.
Does the Big Ten have each of the top 3 teams in the country? I see there's a lot of discourse going on about Indiana winning a national championship or being in a national championship game or whatever it might be. Fascinating discussion. It's amazing. Although frustrating at times. Number 1 is still Ohio State, but the number 1 team in the country. Beat Wisconsin 34-0. Didn't have to break a sweat. They take their bye this week. Enjoy your bye. Number 2, Indiana. Beat Michigan State 38-13. They had that screenshot of Signetti while Michigan State was scoring a touchdown. He did that, that move. He contorts his face in very odd ways.
He really does.
Indiana hosts the red-hot UCLA Bruins this week.
Interesting.
It kind of. And that's why we'll hear this in our Big Ten TV schedule coming up later in the segment.
Oh,
it's big noon this week.
Big noon.
Who would have seen it coming? UCLA and Indiana is the premier game of the week of the Big Ten Conference. Number 3 is Oregon, who beat Rutgers 56-10. And hilariously, they play Wisconsin this week. Oh no, disaster.
Yeah.
Oh no, disaster indeed.
Oh no! Disaster!
That's 1, 2, 3. Are those the best 3 teams in the country? In that order.
Well, let's decide on the best SEC team and compare them.
Good luck. Who do you think the best SEC team is? The highest ranked one is Texas A&M. The next one after that
can't be right.
Exactly. Then the next one after that is Alabama.
That feels more like the answer.
Lost to Florida State. People forget that.
Florida State lost to Stanford.
Florida State lost to everyone. Their coach is going to get fired, along with everybody else down there. And then there's Georgia, who's 6-1. At least Oregon's loss is to Indiana, who's number 2 in all the polls this week. You can make a real legit case for it.
So it's weird because I think any one of those SEC teams on any given day could beat any one of those Big Ten teams, however, I think those 3 Big Ten teams are probably better. I think you're probably right.
Yeah, but don't you think the Big Ten teams could also beat the SEC teams?
Yeah. Oh, yes,
okay.
absolutely.
Yeah,
Yes.
right. Yeah, it would be a toss-up, but like you could, I mean, from a resume perspective, you could absolutely and should make the case that these are at least 3 out of the 4 best teams in America, with the obvious inclusion of Texas A&M, who is indeed undefeated. Texas A&M, by the way, gets LSU this week. on the road, and then goes to Missouri after that.
What is I'm okay. Sorry, I just didn't know the SEC slate and was curious.
I mean, this schedule is kind of dog water, as Matt McMaster would say, that Texas A&M's rolling with. They beat Notre Dame.
They did.
But other than that, they played.
Are they avoiding everyone?
Their schedule so far in the SEC has been Auburn, Mississippi State, Florida, and Arkansas. Disasters all around. And then they get LSU this weekend. Maybe they're a little bit down.
Whoa.
And then they go to Missouri. And then they play Texas at the end of the year. It's always going to be a tough game, but Texas has kind of been asked this year. South Carolina is their other SEC game.
That's about as lucky a schedule as you can get in the SEC.
It's a pretty sick draw. Yeah.
Yep. Good for them.
Tier number 2 in the Big Ten. Top of the middle, a war of attrition. Who wants it? Who wants to be the potential 4th team in the college football playoff? The options are getting less and less likely by the day. Michigan occupies the spot this week. Michigan beat Washington 24-7 on Big Noon last week. They're up 3 in the old Big Ten power rankings with tiers. They go to little brother this weekend at Michigan State. Number 5. See, this is crazy because both of these two teams go up 3 spots. Michigan beat Washington. They earned it. Illinois sat at home and went up 3 spots. They're number 5.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a good weekend.
It is because USC, Washington, and Nebraska all lost. And here you go. Somebody's got to shoot up the board here.
Thought that Illinois ship was capsizing.
Kind of still is.
Still could, I guess.
Yeah, kind of still is. So they're up 3 spots. They go to Washington this week. That is a great game. I am fired up for Illinois, Washington. Clap 2 times if you're with me. I'm fired up for Illinois, Washington. That is 2:30 on the BTN this week.
Good get, BTN.
Great get by BTN. And number 7 is Washington, who lost to Michigan. They're down 2 spots. And like I said, they play Illinois. That ends that tier.
Oh, no.
That ends that tier. Did I mention? Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot about USC. USC lost to Notre Dame. They're down 2 spots. They're idle this week. They're at number 6. So they're in between Illinois and Washington. But they dropped 2 spots. This next tier, I'm calling it Big Ten West plus West.
The West. The double West.
It's the Big Ten West plus West. I'll explain. Number 8, leading off the Big Ten West. Who else could it be? The Iowa Hawkeyes. Yep.
Makes perfect sense.
Yep. They beat Penn State 25-24. It was their biggest win in a long time, according to them. Their quarterback's talking trash because Nebraska's quarterback's taking too many sacks. Is holding on to the ball too long. They're up a spot. They beat Penn State. They play Minnesota this week. The Piggy is on the line. I am also fired up for that game, for the record.
Whoa.
Oh, yeah.
Sicko.
I will always watch a Big Ten West sicko game. Give me any version of these 3 teams. Wisconsin, Minnesota, Iowa. Anytime they play each other, I'm watching it, bar none.
Whoa.
You could throw Nebraska in there too. Any matchup between those 4 teams, I will watch. I love those games. Sorry, I turned into a sicko. You can't just give me the Big Ten West, make it a part of my life, and then take it away from me. You can't. Number 9 is Minnesota, who beat Nebraska 24-6. They flexed all over them. You like what I did there?
I did.
Flexed all over them. Up 2 spots in the Big Ten Power Rankings with tiers this week, and they go to Iowa this weekend for the Floyd of Rosedale. Number 10 is Nebraska. Lost to Minnesota. Nebraska falls 4 spots. The biggest faller this week in Big Ten Power Rankings with tiers. It gives me no pleasure to tell you this information. The biggest dropper, the biggest loser, if you will.
That was a show on the television.
It was. They play Northwestern this week. Number 11 is Northwestern,
who
beat Purdue 19-0. They're up 2 spots, and they go to Nebraska. And number 12, this is where the plus West comes in. UCLA. They just keep on keeping on. UCLA, 3-1 in the league. You know it's us. We're in LA. It's us and USC. Amazing stuff. They beat Maryland 20-17. Some controversial stuff happened at the end of the game. We don't talk about it. They keep winning at Indiana this week. Hello. It's a great game, and it's a big game for the Big Ten West, which now includes UCLA.
One of us.
They're just
one of us.
They're just a sicko enough team to be in the Big Ten West. And then the fourth tier of the Big Ten, these teams are combined 1-23 in league. 1-23.
I didn't know this.
1-23. Maryland, Penn State, Rutgers, Michigan State, Purdue, and Wisconsin. Here's some highlights from the tier. Maryland has a bye this week, as does Penn State. Rutgers and Purdue play each other this week.
Okay. So there's a win coming.
There is a win coming. And Michigan State plays Michigan, and Wisconsin goes to Oregon. They have suffocated and died.
They're not going to get shut out for a third straight game.
They could.
They've scored 20 points in Big Ten play.
Yeah.
They've played 4 games.
Yeah, 4 games.
They're averaging 5 points a conference game.
In hindsight, I should have predicted that they wouldn't score a point against Ohio State because I felt like that was the case. Do we dare?
I mean, if you got shut out versus Iowa, yeah. I mean,
do we dare predict it again? Does Oregon give them a big fat 0 this week?
It seems impossible to get shut out 3 weeks in a row.
Dan Lanning might have a conniption.
Yeah.
He might say, if these guys score on us, I'm going to kill you.
Yes, he might say that. He might yell that on the sidelines. I just think mathematically,
you got to give them 3.
Seems really impossible.
3 points over 3 games is kind of funny, though, because then you could say you're averaging 1 point a game over like an entire month of the season.
They do have, Oregon does have the 8th best points against in the country, 14.4.
Let's do it. I think you just do it for the bid at this point. No more points for Wisconsin.
Surely you can find that on a sports book.
A sports book.
Maybe not as early as Wednesday, but I'm sure Saturday morning you could probably find it.
You could at least manufacture it.
The points that they score. Sometimes there's a prop.
Wisconsin sucks, ladies and gentlemen. Very, very bad. So here's what's on tap this week in the Big Ten. Our TV slate, the Big 3, which is Big Noon, CBS 230. What are they calling that, by the way?
Big Time.
Big Time. And NBC Saturday Night.
You got to, hey, don't hang that banner in the booth this week. You got to reposition the words of Big Ten Saturday Night. Did you see that over the weekend?
Oh, did it come out again as Big Fart or whatever
Big
it was?
Turd.
Yeah, Big Turd.
Yeah.
That's happened before.
It's funny every time. They should stop allowing it to happen.
They should. UCLA at Indiana is Big Noon. Gus Johnson. Joel Klatt. And the All-American girl, Jenny Taft. I have seen Gus's Got It Player of the Week this week.
Mm-hmm.
And who was it again? It was forgettable.
Jeremiah Love.
Jeremiah Love. Which is funny because that's not a Big Ten person. But whatever. Go for it. And we just both noticed that he was wearing a very big hat.
Very big hat.
Gus was. Gus is one of those guys who tucks his ears into his hat.
He is.
Which I always think those guys are weirdos.
Definitely. Oregon to win by shutout plus 250.
Interesting.
That's not a very big number for that type of prop.
Interesting. Minnesota at Iowa is CBS 230, and Michigan State is NBC Saturday night. Elsewhere off the beaten path, Northwestern at Nebraska, FS1 11 o'clock. Rutgers Purdue, BTN 11 o'clock. Illinois Washington 2:30 BTN. Dare I say the game of the week in the conference? Illinois Washington 2:30 BTN, and Wisconsin Oregon 6 o'clock FS1. 4 schools on bye this week: Ohio State, USC, Maryland and Pennsylvania State University. And boy, do they ever need it. What's going on in the bye week at Penn State? What do you think they're doing up there right now? What are they up to? This is a living hell.
Really trying to train your backup quarterback who's now your starting quarterback.
They are 0-4 in the league.
0-4.
0-4. They were the number 3 team in the country a month ago.
With Ohio State and Indiana as their next 2 games.
And now they're toiling around with, they have Ohio State and Indiana the next 2. Great point. The teams around them in Big Ten power rankings with tiers are Maryland and Rutgers. Some might say it's a perfect geographical combination between those 3. I might say they all stink. Bad deal. Bad deal. All right, that is Big Ten power rankings with tiers. We'll have to find Gus's video because I know we played on the shows one of the days.
It's fine this week.
Doug in Idaho is doing his Big Ten power rankings
Ooh,
with tiers.
I like this.
At the same time, it looks like, but he only has numbers 9 through 12.
It's a chunk.
Here's how he would
We
rank
love
them.
chunks.
Minnesota, Northwestern, UCLA, Nebraska. I guess we'll learn a lot this weekend, won't we?
We always do. Every weekend is more enlightening than the one that came before it.
Yeah, I wouldn't shame you for putting Northwestern over Nebraska at this point. I just wouldn't because, like, I watch them both play. And yes, I did watch Nebraska play on Friday night against Minnesota. I get it.
They couldn't beat Millard South.
But I guess we'll see on Saturday. I guess we'll see.
Have you heard how physical Northwestern plays?
Yes,
just like
have.
Minnesota played physical.
We do this thing every year. We make Northwestern out to be like the greatest team of all time because they've done, they've.
That game against Nebraska is always close, though.
Of course, I'm not saying that
inexplicably,
Nebraska's going to win by a bunch of points, but I think Nebraska should win the game.
Every year, I think every Nebraska fan sits down to watch that game, and in the third quarter, just it's Northwestern.
And then you get all freaked out. All right, we will take a quick break and be back after this on 1620 The Zone. Blur Party passes will be drawn for very, very soon. So get in your email to 1620thezone.com. Register for your chance to win tickets to the Blur Party tailgate on Saturday for Nebraska's game against Northwestern. It's a great party underneath the old viaduct there. So get in on that action and then have a little drinky drink, a little eaty eat before the game. And then zip, it's like a 5-minute walk to the stadium.
Nice.
It's beautiful.
That's the way to do it.
It's fantastic for the West Stadium anyway. I don't know what gate you guys go in, but we can do whatever you want.
I don't know what
If you're going to the game
what
or
gate
you're
are
not-
people going in these days?
Can you question for the common folk? Can you go into any gate, or do you have to go into a specific gate? Because like when I was a student and I would go to games, obviously you have to go in like the student only gate. Like, but when you have your ticket, do you have to go into a specific gate?
I would think so, because aren't they all sort of disconnected? Or how connected are they?
Well,
I mean, you can
go anywhere in the stadium
Yeah.
once you're in the stadium. Like to enter the stadium, you have to go into a specific gate, or can you go into any gate and then get to where
first,
you're going?
First coming in any gate.
Okay, good. That's a good thing, by the way. Because like if I was coming from the bottoms and I wanted to go into that first gate right off the edge there, but I sat in South Stadium, I would want to do that instead of walking all around to South Stadium.
Yes.
There you go. Thank you.
More people coming in to
Thank you,
confirm any
commoners.
gate. You got don't call them that.
Thank you very much, little people.
If you're nope, that's not any better. And if you're calling us to say any gate, you're far too late.
Yeah. Any gate. Any gate. Any gate. Any gate. Thank you. John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt said, "We are the common folk. Offense taken." Yes. The well known that the media lives in the high society.
Your ivory tower up there with your cookies and your night coffee.
I do like having the access to coffee. I will say that. And the box of popcorn at halftime. It ain't that cool, guys. It ain't that cool.
It's cooler than where you sit.
It's definitely not.
There aren't.
I would rather sit in the stands with the yelling, screaming people and my butt halfway on the thing.
There aren't 3 farm hands and all that implies squeezing you in.
That doesn't have to be the case.
It mostly is.
Yeah, but you don't. If you're not in a press box, then you don't have to deal with table pounding.
Daddy needs a touchdown.
Daddy Michael saying a bunch of random words throughout the game.
I don't want a lot in life. I do want to sit with him for a game because it just sounds like a
you don't have to
riot.
actually sit with him. You just have to sit like in the general vicinity of him because you could hear him.
Because just generally, he's a high energy guy who's kind of just bopping around and talking all the time. He's got the gift of gab, as they say.
He does. He does indeed. He's always doing something.
Yeah.
He's cutting up highlights, like he's recording the game on his computer with the radio broadcast. It's nuts.
And he's having like full blown conversations. He's incredible.
It's amazing. Yeah. He's an absolute dynamo. And Michael will be filling in on the show coming soon. Next Friday, I think.
That sounds right.
And then the Monday after that.
Halloween with Michael Severe.
Halloween with Michael Severe.
Will he dress up?
Maybe.
Seems very unlikely.
Maybe. You never know. Got a tweet here from Kent. I'm security. I'm higher up than media. Take the L. Take it like a man. Perfect.
Will you take it, Connor?
Of course I will. I don't
Okay.
think that what the media gets is that cool. Gotta wait on the elevator. Just like everybody else.
Well, yeah.
What's going on out there?
I don't know.
Somebody moving Mr. Bones?
What's ever going on in this building? The walls are paper thin. Our wall doesn't go up to the ceiling, so I can hear everything that happens around the studio.
Actually, it kind of sounded like John. Is John yelling in the other room?
Oh.
Speaking of John, I was thinking about him during the break because I saw
I'm always thinking of him.
I saw another tweet about Tony Vitello, and it just flashed back into my mind. Wow, remember when John, healthy wrists and all, was chasing Tony Vitello around the left field, outfield wall of Charles Schwab Field, Omaha.
To get a word.
Just Tony.
Can we get a word?
We're chasing him and we're out of breath. He is sprinting around. He's getting crowd surfed by everybody he can find. He jumped into the stands, I think, at one point, didn't he?
I believe so.
Yeah,
yes.
he jumped into the stands after they won the College World Series a couple of years ago. And meanwhile, John's just trying to get 30 seconds of his time. Finally got him about midway left field, right where the left fielder would be standing at a normal depth inside the stadium. And he was out of breath. Whatever he said didn't make any sense. But Westwood One got their interview, damn it. Because John Bishop is a professional.
What if he would have said, no, I'm not running after him?
Exactly.
I'm willing to go anywhere in the studio, but I'm not running.
Yeah. Mike in Columbus, Ohio has a question.
Hello, Mike in Columbus.
When was the last time you turned on the TV and said, oh, yeah, Huskers win this game? Now, are you talking about like a live game? Or are you talking about like one of those random old games that we watch?
I mean, it's got to be a current game, right?
Yeah. I got to be dead honest with you guys. I knew the result of Friday's game before I watched it. I kind of felt like I just tried to transport myself into the moment. Like, I kind of felt like Nebraska was going to win that game all the way until the 98-yard drive. Which was,
and you still had the result.
Admittedly,
in
at the
head.
start, it started with like 11 minutes to go in the third quarter, so I guess it wasn't that late yet. But I thought 7-6, 14-6, right? I guess it was after the even at 14-6, I thought, oh, they're going to put a drive together, they're going to get a touchdown, maybe get a 2-point conversion and still win this thing. They can flip it in 1 second. Maybe I'm just more confident than you guys. I really have been Mr. Positive this week.
You really have.
But I think you guys are Mr. Negatives.
See, I feel stuck somewhere in between.
That's a fine place to be.
Where I'm like, gosh, Saturday's going to tell me everything I need to know.
That's a fine place to be. Yeah, I think Saturday is absolutely a huge game for Matt Rule and for the Nebraska football Cornhuskers. I just feel good about. I just think they're going to respond. Because I've seen this enough times. I've seen it enough times. So this is actually a topic that we were going to do today. What is your confidence level that they're going to figure something out? And here's where I go. Like, number one, the history. I think they routinely respond after egg games, after they lay the eggs. Because it's like, all right, great. We were too entitled or whatever the whole thing was this week. Now you have our attention. We're going to be focused and detailed and all that stuff. I think that's a big part of it. Number two, a lot of their problems are fixable. And I'm not talking about this like mental thing. I'm talking about like the things that went wrong in the football game. Being on the same page, game plan, being in the right spot, like holding on to the ball too long. That stuff is fixable. Like a lot of the core problems that Nebraska has, like not being able to protect the quarterback, I think that's a core problem because that's a thing that has spanned over many, many games now. Like it, and then subsequently the quarterback holding on to the ball too long. Like, I just think this is fixable by a simpler, more condensed game plan. I think this is a lot on Holgo.
The Oko?
Yes. I think they could devise a cleaner, simpler game plan on offense to make it easier for everyone, offensive line and Dylan included. And I think for Nebraska on defense, for better or for worse, you got to be who you are. It was supposed to be a faster, more explosive, more turnover-heavy defense, and then they just sat back in their little shell on Friday night and said, yeah, whatever, we'll give them the short because we're not going to get busted in the run game. And then they got busted in the run game. When you think that when you're devising a defense to not get busted in the run game, and then you get busted in the run game, that's what happens. Of course, you bust in the run game. Like, there's just some things that you have to accept. Nebraska's going to get busted in the run game, so be who you are. Go get turnovers. They need more turnovers. They especially need more turnovers on Saturday for this thing to work. Northwestern's going to try and have a bunch of 12 play, 14 play, 17 play, 36 play, 89-yard, 99-yard drives and just eat the clock. Nebraska's got to go be aggressive. They got to force the issue. They got to make things happen. Like, I don't understand how that wasn't already a thing on Friday night, but I think the message is pretty clear now. Like,
run that Isaiah one shoe play.
yeah, I think that, and I think this is all very, it's obviously perceptible to the human eye. Hey, look, there's Windy. Omaha. He made it to LA.
Wow.
Looks like. So, like, when I think back to Friday night, I think, like, most of my anger comes from the missed opportunity part of it, not in the, like, oh, man, this season is bleeped. Because I'm not there yet. I forgive me. Maybe I was just more bought into this team than seemingly anybody else was. But, like, I feel really good about Nebraska winning on Saturday. I do. Like, I think there's a world where they can win by 2 touchdowns.
Ooh. Gosh, wouldn't that be fun?
Yeah. It certainly looked good for me.
Being able
because
to...
I've been Mr. Positive this week.
Yes. That would be bad for you.
Joel says, I've seen a 4-game losing streak in both years under Matt Rule. So, yes, I am a little skeptical. Fair. I'm not saying that you shouldn't be skeptical.
There's lots to be skeptical of. It's a far from perfect team.
Oh, I am very skeptical. It is a very imperfect team. Yes.
And just because you win doesn't mean everything's fixed.
Absolutely not. But you have your problems. You have the things that, believe it or not, Nebraska is good at a couple things. Accentuate those things, minimize the bad things, create a game plan, and you can match up with anybody on the rest of your schedule. Even big, bad Northwestern. Oh, they're so good, aren't they?
World beaters.
They are just an incredible team. I got a question for you, listeners. You think Northwestern's so good? Let me ask you this. Who's their quarterback?
Doesn't matter. They play team ball.
Who's their running back?
They play team ball. It doesn't matter who the individual is.
Who's their top wide receiver? Who's their leading tackler on defense? Who's their leading sack getter on defense?
Jacob
That's right.
Eruzione.
You don't know who any of these homies are, bro.
That's right.
Chill out.
Not grinding tape.
Back after this with the polls. We'll tell you what to watch on 1620 The Zone.
The Connor Happer Show.
Who's pitching tonight?
You Darvish, having a great year.
The Connor Happer Show.
I know about that guy.
On 1620 The Zone.
What a mess.
Your next vehicle is waiting for you at Woodhouse Buick GMC. Right now, you can save up to $9,000 off MSRP on the 2026 GMC Sierra 1500 Elevation Crew Cab 4x4. Explore our current offers in-store or online today. Woodhouse Buick GMC. We are professional grade. With approved credit, must trade in a 2011 or newer vehicle. Tax, title, license extra. $299 doc fee due at signing. Offer applies to select stock numbers. Stock number V260188. Offer expires October 31st, 2025. See dealer for details.
Homework time doesn't have to be stressful. Hi, I'm Tim Royers, president of the Nebraska State Education Association. Even a few minutes of encouragement can go a long way. Ask a question, review their work, or just sit nearby. When families get involved, students feel supported, and that builds confidence. So let's tackle homework together, because when we do, oftentimes it's easier, calmer, and a whole lot less stressful. Sponsored by the Nebraska State Education Association, aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt writes in on YouTube, the fact that we don't have the Northwestern players' names at the tip of our collective tongue simply means we don't follow. It's not because they aren't any good. Yeah, why don't we follow Northwestern?
Because I'm not from Chicago.
Exactly. In essence, they ain't any good, right? You're just I'm sick of the fear-mongering. That's what I'm sick of.
Seems like Nebraska was scared of the fear-mongering last Friday.
I think Nebraska, for the record, I think Nebraska should take their opponents very, very seriously always. We see what happens when they don't. I'm not on the team.
You're not?
No.
Okay.
I'm not on the team.
Could if you wanted to be.
People are like, Happer, you're one of the entitled boys, just like them. Guess what? I can be. I'm not on the team. I just talk about them.
Interesting.
All right, to the polls at Happer Show on the JTech Construction Zone Twitter feed. I got a couple today. Maybe.
Yeah, we got a couple. Literally a couple.
Okay, two. Are dudes uglier now?
Absolutely.
71% agree. Yes. And do you remember the little window? What's that mean? What did we say that?
The planes. Remember the little window on the door of the planes that you could look through and see?
The people.
Yeah.
It was the people.
Yeah.
I was a part of that conversation. I don't even know what that was. Yes, I do, though. 52% say yes. Those are the polls. Josh, what are we watching tonight?
We are watching college football. It's Wednesday. That means college football on our TVs. We're all so excited for football. Middle Tennessee at Delaware, 6:30 tonight on ESPN2.
All right.
Missouri State at New Mexico State, 8 o'clock on CBS Sports Network. The main event, probably ESPN's NBA coverage. It begins at 5 o'clock with Inside the NBA.
Oh, television.
EJ and them boys on ESPN. I'm sure it will go swimmingly. Then it's the Cavs.
They definitely won't say cuss words.
Right. It's the Cavs and the Knicks, 6 o'clock on ESPN. Karl Anthony Towns, doubtful for game 1 of the NBA season.
How many more games do you want us to lose? We already lost.
One of my favorite quotes of all time, period.
How much more you want us to lose?
Then Spurs Mavs, 8:30 on ESPN, and then around 11 o'clock Inside the NBA returns, where I'm guessing you'll hear a cuss word and it will go viral, and people will be like, oh my gosh, did you see this? NHL TNT, 6:30 puck drop between the Red Wings and the Sabres. And on Hulu, a remake no one asked for to a movie no one remembers.
Perfect.
The Hand That Rocks the Cradle. Mary Elizabeth Winstead plays an upscale suburban mom who brings a new nanny into her home, only to discover she is not the person she claims to be.
And the movie is called what?
The Hand That Rocks the Cradle.
And the original starred who?
Antonio Banderas.
Whoa. Okay.
1992.
Yeah.
Film. Rebecca De Mornay.
So I actually kind of like when they do movie, like they basically just try again. Because this movie wasn't popular, right?
I mean, no.
So it's less of a remake and it's more of like, let's just do this same idea and see if it works this time.
If we do it,
yeah.
If we do an okay job, people will think we did it.
I'm not out on that idea.
Okay.
That's actually okay.
Mhm.
So I'm still not going to watch it
Right.
for the record, but whatever. Thank you, Josh.
Thank you, Connor.
For watching tonight. That's the show. If you missed anything, 1620thezone.com is where you can find it. Congratulations for Wendy, to our friend Brian Windhorst, for getting to LA safe and sound.
Very quickly. We know he lived in Omaha, everybody.
We do.
We're excited for non-sports fans to learn it just by watching KETV.
Yeah, don't call us non-ball knowers. We knew.
Well, it was on every podcast. We
Known
know.
for a
We know.
long time.
We're cool. We know.
Long time. Crossovers coming up next.